Evening, race fans, and welcome in once again to live iRacing on VirtualRacing.Network. Tonight, it's Tuesday. You know what that means on VirtualRacing.Network. It's time for NORA Cup Series 2023 action, and we continue the playoffs. They've been hot and heavy thus far. We look forward to some awesome turning right and turning left action here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway Roval. It's the old version. Should be a lot of fun for these drivers, and of course, a big decider to decide who's going to get into the round of 8. So much at stake out here tonight. 15 laps in the first stage, 30 in the second, and 65 laps overall. Hello again, everybody. I'm Trevor Greenfield. Great to have you joining us live here once again on our YouTube channel. And joining me, as always, is legend, sim racer, and very diverse sim racer at that. He's able to win in trucks and drive these cup cars as well. He's got cars in multiple series. His name, of course, is Christian Snyder. Welcome back to the booth here, Christian, and what can we look forward to tonight here at the Roval?
It's going to be a lot of fun out here on the Roval. These guys are doing a lot better than I expected at handling it. There's a few guys still struggling, getting the braking points right and everything, but a lot of these guys put a lot of focus into maximizing practice time that they can. And all the playoff guys were in practice earlier, fine-tuning their brakes and getting everything ready for tonight. There's a lot of people in that danger area of getting eliminated. We're only taking 8 into the next round, and from 4th to 11th, they're all within 10 points of each other. So it's an absolutely crazy point situation. So I definitely think that for the first stage, you're going to want to just stay out for it and try to maximize your points. But the winning strategy tonight may be pitting at about 3 to go and, flipping the stage so that you start first in stage 2, just pit early in stage 1.
Well, that is certainly an interesting call to make. It would be quite a gamble, but of course, you got to do what you got to do when the points are that close out here. And of course, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the points as they stand, as these drivers are out there right now qualifying, and you can see it right there. The drivers in yellow are the ones that right now technically are, as the points are right now, in for the round of 8. But you can see how close those points are, as Christian was just mentioning. All those drivers in red technically on the outside looking in. Look at that battle going on from Cody Height on down. So from 4th place on down, I mean, we've got just 10 points, 9 points actually, separating 10th to 4th place. And then, of course, with Adam Kulikowski, should he go out there and have a great finish tonight, top 2 or 3, he may have a chance to even get himself in as well. So this is going to be a barn burner of a race. We expect a lot of these drivers who maybe are not even that particularly skilled on road courses. They're going to come out here with all guns firing and swinging with both arms as they try to get themselves into that round of 8. Christian, you know what it's like to have everything on the line and have to come out here and get it done with such pressure.
Yeah, it's very intense whenever you're in a situation where, especially if you're in a must-win like John Cottle, you have to go out there and give it everything you got and more. 100% out of your car sometimes isn't enough, and you got to get that extra little bit. And I've fallen victim to both sides of it, being in a situation where you need to point your way in. I was in that situation. I was also in a must-win situation and fell a little short, finished second, missed the final 4 by, I think, 1 point. So it's heartbreak for those who are going to miss the round of 8, but everyone who makes it, you're that much closer to a championship. And a lot of these guys, man, I'll be surprised if they don't make it to the round of 8, but there's a lot of people in danger. You know, we've seen Ronnie Norman win the regular season championship, and he's at risk tonight of being knocked out of the playoffs. He just has to have the most solid night that you can have here at the Roval, and he should be okay, but he's at risk.
And that's some scary stuff to think of Ronnie Norman technically not being in. I mean, can you even believe that? There's no way you would have thought that during the regular season, and certainly Ronnie doing just fine over in the Icon Cup Series, but we're going to watch on here and see whether or not he can manage to do something for himself. Here we're taking a look at Ryan Bird for Late Apex Racing. He and his teammate Tom Senchak so far shown second and third. Jacob Malone currently shown in fourth place, and Vincent Arthur, who's already won and therefore gotten into the round of 8, he's sitting there in fifth place, just having come into the pits. This is open qualifying that is underway right now, so these drivers just trying to go out there all together at once and get in a great time. Here's Peter Irons for Harper Motorsports, and he is so far the absolute fastest driver of all of them by 0.6 of a second. Christian, that's saying a lot when it's over the top of a driver like Ryan Bird.
Yeah, we talked to Tim Harper last week in the broadcast booth, and he said, I got to get somebody else to get in this 12 car at the Roval, hopefully a road ringer, and he found for sure a road ringer in Peter Irons. He is by far the fastest out here, having some issues with trading paints and loading his paint scheme, as we always have here on VRN. The trading paints and iRacing never like to cooperate with us. But
I did re-download all the paint, so I'll try it again, but trading paint saying that's what we got. But we'll see.
Trading paints is a pain sometimes, man, I tell you. But just getting his first laps out here, Josh Conover, he didn't do any practice. Came in last minute. He's going out there and qualifying, but he practiced enough throughout the week, I think, to be a solid top 10 contender. A 25 in a position where it can advance in the owner's points. So he's out here doing his best job. As you see, he gets into the wall there and then take it back into the pits. That's going to be it for him for qualifying. Brady Moats going through the backstretch chicane, getting a little bit loose there. I think that's about turn 14, 15. There's a lot of turns.
There are a lot of turns, and of course we're not so used to dealing with all of these turns here in this predominantly oval series. There's some good road course drivers here, but we don't typically deal with too many road courses during the season, let alone this is the older version of the Roval. And not to mention here in qualifying, a 10-minute open qualifying, this is all very foreign business to a lot of these drivers who just aren't used to this kind of thing. But you look on the left-hand side, you'll see all the drivers in yellow. Those are, of course, the drivers that are in this championship hunt. They're the top 12 drivers right now, and of course, a number of them really fighting it out here tonight to try to get up there into the top spot. And indeed, I did load his paint, so that's what I've got. I don't know if you got something different, Christian, but
yeah, it shows it whenever you're on that driver thing on the bottom right. You can see the paint scheme that he has, but it's not loading into the race. So trading paints, not being cooperative.
It loves to do what it wants to do, and
yeah, it's not new for us.
God bless the service. It's such a wonderful thing for iRacing and all of everyone who's taking place in it. We all get to see such fancy paint schemes, but there's the guy who's fighting to get in. He's got to get a win here tonight, and that will be difficult. Hey, big shout out to everybody over in our YouTube chat room. We got Eco Green GT checking in with us. Great to have you. And certainly we've got Steven Dombrowski. Let's go. Hopefully Ronnie can use the momentum from Sunday. His car was fast all race. Get that W, buddy. You deserve it. Yes. Drift King, that's Jacob Gladelich checking in with us. We do appreciate, as always. And Mavic giving us a hello. So great to see you. And, of course, rooting on the number 12. And think this proves that Peter is an alien, says Eco Green GT. And we already know, says Mavic. Yeah, I mean, certainly, like I said before, if you're faster than Ryan Bird, that is saying a lot. If you're faster than Vincent Arthur on a road course, that's saying a lot. And so for Peter Irons to come out here and knock one off in his very first time, which he has done officially now, we'll go ahead and bring up the starting order for tonight's race. But congratulations to Peter Irons of Harper Motorsports, who has taken pole position. And let's go ahead, bring up that starting grid. There it is. That's as official as it gets in your debut, taking pole position. That's some pretty cool stuff. So here we go. On that first row will be Peter Irons. Next to him, Ryan Bird for Late Apex Racing. That second row will be Tom Senchek and Jacob Malone. On the third row, Vincent Arthur and Josh Conover. On the fourth row, Cody Height alongside of Matthew George. The fifth row will have Brady Motes and John Cottle. The sixth row, Dakota Moniz and Ronnie Norman. That seventh row will be Cameron Thompson and Chad Engel. Jacob Gladelich and Adam Kulikowski. Joey Stats and Blake Hoppy. Jake Christenberry and Everett Couts. And again, Christenberry right on the outside looking in. And then we've got Alex Axman, who I don't believe is actually going to take the start tonight. And I'm not sure if Dakota Hendrickson will actually get the start in tonight. A couple of reasons what's going on with the 12 is that he's forced to sit out tonight's race, as is Nick Geilis. So that's the reason why we're not going to be seeing Tim Harper in there, although Tim probably very upset to be sitting out because he's really one of the top road course drivers here in this league.
Oh, he's not out of it because he has to be. He's out of it because he didn't want to race. He absolutely does not like the Roval, so he went out and found someone else for that 12 car to try to advance it. So he is actually spotting for that 12 car here tonight. So he's still here. He's around the track, just not behind the wheel.
So as we look on, indeed, we'll have to figure out what's going on with Pete's paint job, but I'm not sure if it has something to do. I mean, everyone else's is displaying just fine. So,
yeah, I think if we just close trading paints completely, exit out of it, it should work.
I've done it.
Wow.
I've done it. I've restarted trading paints. Never had this type of an issue. Sometimes it's to do with like hiding numbers, which this is set the way that the league prefers it. So anyway, hopefully y'all love this purple and blue paint scheme of Pete Irons, because this is what you're going to get. He's looking pretty solid out there, and he's right next to the purple and white car of Ryan Bird. Christian, this is going to be a very interesting race out here tonight. Track position may actually mean something here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to mean a lot. The cleaner the track, the better your lap time is going to be. So Peter, for the first probably 7 laps of this race, going to be setting some pretty fast lap times until he gets into lap traffic. And that's going to be something that he's going to have to watch out for tonight. A lot of these guys are way off of his time. We see, he set a 118. Clear back to 20th is 5 seconds slower than him on this track. So he's got to watch the closing rates whenever we get to the lap traffic. But he should be good enough that he's able to avoid it pretty easily.
Well, Tom Senchek, teammate to Ryan Bird, they're going to be starting on the second row. Late Apex not going to exactly be able to do what they've done at, say, Talladega, where they were all able to work together and be able to draft together, work their way to the front. But they still have formed up together. That means they'll be able to kind of look after each other. Jacob Malone for Brian Powell Motorsports, great qualifying position. And Josh Conover, can you believe Josh starting 5th? It's unbelievable. Great qualifying effort for him. And we got it. There he is in the body armor, number 12. Peter Irons. Well, that's not how you do it. And Ryan Bird, that's not how you do it either. And the bumper cars continue.
Oh, no.
We've got a yellow flag. This is some calamity here in the first lap.
Have you ever?
I don't even know what to say. First, well, we did see Vincent Loria on the first lap over in Icon have a massive issue, but I don't think we've ever quite seen that. I'm guessing that the tires just spun up there on Peter's machine. Let's go back and check it out, because that's what we do. You know, the main thing is that his paint works now. I mean,
at least it looks good spinning.
Yes.
Yeah, you can see these guys decided to not do the chicane for the restart, and they're doing the on the track, so you're going to have a lot more speed than you've had all night, and it looks like he misses a gear possibly, or either that was on the throttle too hard whenever he switched gears, and it just hooked right there. And then we saw Ryan Bird go into turn 1, and he's actually the reason for the caution, I believe. We obviously saw Peter's issues, but then Bird goes into the next corner, misses it, and goes around and collects 2 or 3 cars. But right there, I think he did downshift, because the RPM spiked pretty hard there.
Pretty impossible to tell. But yes, we'll take a look at what happened to Ryan Bird. And perhaps we can tell. Now, Bird drifting all the way down to 9th place after that. This is on the start, so watch Bird get through this mess, and perhaps he was looking in his mirrors, unable to decipher what happened and try and figure that one out. But it gets in really hot there into turn 1. It's just too hot for the corner. As a result, he tags the wall on the outside.
Jacob Malone and Matthew George involved, and Matthew George, he's in that playoff battle, so he got a little bit of damage there on that front end. We see Chad Engel also got some damage on the front stretch with the 12 car. It's right on board here with Bird. Oh, he spun tires too.
He did. He managed to hold on to it, though.
Yeah, and then just overcooks it right there, gets sideways, tries correcting, and that hit into the wall. That's going to break the tire, the right rear.
Who was that went right into his nose there?
That was Jacob Malone. Big hit for Malone with the 12 car first, and then he gets into Ryan Bird when he goes around. So Malone qualified 4th. Unfortunately, not going to be the finishing position he gets, because that car is pretty well destroyed.
Well, this was his start. So there's one big hit.
Yeah, you can see he's like, all right, I got to regroup. We're fine. We're going to go up here and, well, not going to work that way.
What are the chances that you hit 1st and 2nd place on the opening lap in separate incidents?
And one of them head on. Yeah,
one of them head on. Separate incidents.
That's got to be 5,000 plus odds, man. That is insane.
That's your FanDuel bet right there, but you would have won if you took it. So, oh my goodness me. Well, Eco Green GT, you're definitely, I'm sure, happy to see the paint on Pete's car. Unfortunately, Pete right now, Peter Irons, sits on pit road taking damage repair after that turn. Well, not even turn 1 it wasn't even the start-finish line. Before the start-finish line, spinning up his tires and wiping out, unfortunately. And then Ryan Bird sits behind him. Again, Christian, I tell you, I've done a lot of road racing. I don't remember 1st and 2nd place both ending up out of the race on the first lap, within a corner of each other in separate incidents. I don't remember ever encountering that in all of my races, but maybe that's what we're in for tonight. Is it full moon?
It is every single time we broadcast, Trevor. It is a full moon every single time. I think the craziest stuff that I've seen in my iRacing tenure has always come whenever we're broadcasting. We saw first and second both get penalized at Darlington, and third place ended up winning. I've never seen that before. It's just been so many crazy circumstances that have happened this season. But some pretty long cautions here. I think we got another lap here to go around. So,
well, if you like seeing crazy, you like seeing unique, you like seeing something different, that's the reason you should be subscribed to VirtualRacing.Network. If you're not already, we've got it all here. We've got, both first and second basically taking themselves out before turn one. I mean, you're not going to see that. That's Ryan Bird. This guy has won a bunch of races. I've never seen him make a mistake like that. Has he made a mistake like that? I've never seen him make a mistake like that in all of his races here.
Yeah, not to my knowledge. I wasn't there for Chicago, so I didn't see what happened with him there. But he won Indy earlier this season. I believe he also won Sonoma in very dominating fashion. So to see him get loose into turn one, these cars are a handful. And I think the main reason that happened, practice was one set of temperatures out there and track condition. Then what these guys do for realism, practice was on October 8th, essentially, and then qualifying October 9th, and then the race is October 10th. So it's different days in the sim, and it's different weather for those days. So this track instantly got hotter than what they were used to in practice, and they all just struggled going into turn one.
Well, I tell you what this all does, Christian, is it moves Tom Senchek, who would like to be able to officially get into the round of 8. It puts him up into the lead. It moves Vincent Arthur, who's already taken a win. He doesn't need any more points or a win here, but it puts him into second. And it puts Cody Height, who's on the outside looking in right now, it puts him into third. No, I'm sorry. He's in fourth right now, but he's trying to defend that position in fourth place, and he needs a good finish to do so. So he's currently sitting in third. Don't forget about the fact that Cody Height won at Mid-Ohio earlier this season, so it is possible that he's a sleeper back there in third, and somebody who you might keep your eye on as a potential race winner.
Yeah, he won Mid-Ohio over in the Truck Series. Hasn't won yet in Cup, but I'm sure he's going to soon break into the win column in Cup Series. If not this season, for sure next year he'll hit victory lane. And
Steven Dombrowski's got to be happy because there's Ronnie Norman up into 5th place, already gaining 6 positions in that first few corners.
Yeah, new paint scheme for Ronnie Norman. He really wanted a new look for the rest of the season, especially in October. Wanted that pink on the car. I love seeing all the pink cars showing support for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but here we go. We're back into the restart zone. Let's see if tires are still an issue here. We're back under green. Everyone a lot smoother this time here. Let's see what happens going into turn one.
Here they come into turn one. Will they all get it right through here this time? Looks pretty good throughout the field. We move on down further the track, and everything's still looking good at this point, with Senchek actually losing that top position to Vincent Arthur there on that start. And we've got a car going sideways. I believe it's Couts. Couts had already gained something like 16 positions, and now he's starting to fall backwards. That's the number 77 there at the center of your screen.
Yeah, he had pit road penalties from previous weeks that he wasn't allowed qualifying, so he's coming from the back and already inside the top 10.
Well, I have a note here that says Irons possibly was off track, Kulikowski, and then looks like Cameron Thompson maybe having an issue as well here at the back. Take a look here and see if we can figure out this one. We've got Moats. We've got another incident. This is Brady Moats sitting backwards here.
I don't know if the caution came out just for him or if there were more cars there. I saw two cars losing some positions, but Brady Moats gets the worst of it.
This was first. Cameron Thompson getting into it there with, I believe, Chad Ingle.
Oh, he gets turned from Bird there.
That is.
He got tapped there from behind, goes around, goes off track. And Bird trying to regroup and go through the field, just gets on the throttle a lot earlier than Cameron. You can see he was already loose there, and Ryan Bird just helped finish him off there. Those cars got the off track for avoiding Cameron Thompson there.
So then this, a little bit later on.
Oh, breaks late into it and is going to loop it so that he doesn't get into Cody Height.
Kind of smart thinking there, but rolls back onto the track, and I believe it's Cottle who gets into him.
It is.
Also
and
Joey Stats.
He's in a must-win, and Cottle's front nose is destroyed.
So we'll take one more look at that, this time from on board.
Yeah, just absolutely missed the braking point, loops it around, and right here, you got to hold the brake, but he just lets go of it and turns right in front of the entire field.
That is some difficult stuff there, not only for him, but here comes John Cottle into this miss. Cottle real loose in the braking zone there himself. And into the side he goes. Yeah.
You can see someone did a smart thing there and took the access road. Couldn't tell who that was.
Well, here's
it was Nick or it was Joey Stats.
Here's Stats.
Yeah, he sees that happen and he goes to the right, comes to a stop because this is the rules. If you miss the chicane, either on the back stretch or the front stretch, you have to come to a complete stop before you get going again.
Well, he's following the rules, and as a result, by being a little bit more cautious and conservative, he manages to make it right on through. This is, you know, I don't know if it's just because some of these guys don't typically do a lot of road course racing, or if it's the trickiness of the cars. Also, this is a lot tighter of a racetrack than a lot of people, you know, would think from watching on television during the real life racing. This is it's a tricky track to get exactly right. There's some real high commitment corners for as low speed as it is technically, but there's that wall to also reach out there and grab you if you get anything wrong, and that's what we saw with Bird. And it's always there in a couple of different corners, really keeping you on your toes, just trying to stay, you know, like you're painting between the lines, so to speak, because there's not a lot of off-track room here. But I know a lot of people were doing some practice, so
yeah. Well, we got time here. We got an entire another lap on track. We could talk to possibly our leader and see if he was expecting this type of start of the race. We can talk to Vincent Arthur possibly under this caution.
Well, let's go ahead and do that.
Let's pull him up. Hey, Vincent, it's Christian and Trevor up in the booth. You got us?
I do.
Man, it's kind of a wild start to this one. You expecting to be in the lead here already? In stage 1, 7 laps into this thing?
No, I'm going to be quite honest. I didn't have very high expectations coming into this race. I don't know why, but as far as road courses go, I never have had a lot of luck here, but we're just never pulled the result through. So came into tonight with pretty low expectations and qualifying 5th. Figured I was just going to ride, just try to get what I can. But then bunch of mayhem happened at the start, and I was able to get through it. So I lucked out a little bit there, and then that last restart, I had a little more confidence on the brakes than most, and was able to swing around the outside to get the lead. So now it's just trying to hold on to it. With the stage yellows tonight, it'll be interesting to see, if anybody does pit before the stage, or if everybody's staying out for stage points. So it'll be really interesting to see how things go. But no, I did not expect to be sitting P1 7 laps in.
Do you notice anything with the track that's different from practice and qualifying that would cause some calamity in turn 1 there?
Yeah, it's really loose everywhere. It's usually on cold tires, especially like this week, it's been pretty bad. With just tire warm-up, you feel like you're on ice, and then we have a really, really low track temp, which is just amplifying that whole phenomenon. So it is a pretty noticeable change between what we did in practice and qualifying and what we're feeling here, but it's like being on ice out here. Even after that second restart there, I was really taking it easy for those laps that we were green, and it was still skating around.
All right, before we let you go back to your hauler, what's your strategy? I know you said about the pit stops. Are you planning on staying out and getting that playoff point for the next round, or are you going to pit and try to flip the stage?
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
All right. Well, good luck out there, Vincent, and hopefully we see you at the end of the night in the top 3.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
All right. Not giving away his secrets there, Trevor.
No, and Christian, you don't have a car out there racing tonight, but he's still going to hold on tight to those secrets, and I applaud him for that. Why give away information? You know, this broadcast going out there to everybody, and we've got a lot of people watching tonight. We appreciate that. Always check in with us on YouTube. We'll give you a shout out. Let us know who you're rooting on. Like Senchek cutting through the curbing area there.
That's the choose cone right there.
Oh, I see.
If you go to the right of the curbing, you're taking the right side, and if you go to the left, you're choosing the left.
Well, Senchek making his choice, but that's giving Conover the chance to close up and get right next to his teammate Vincent Arthur. It's an interesting choice there for... Where did Senchek go?
Did I miss something? Did he disappear?
He is back in 17th.
Okay.
Is it a full moon?
I swear it is.
It's something. Something's going on. It's, you know what it is? It's a that's what it is. This is the playoffs for the NORA Cup Series, and this is a deciding race. And everybody just has a ton of jitters and a lot of nerves. And I bet you more than anything, Vincent Arthur would love to just see this thing get going, get underway, and just, crank off about 10, 15 laps of this thing just to get through some of it, because right now everybody is just wondering kind of what's happening here. Like, where did Tom Senchek go? He's like, beam me up, Scotty, and he was gone.
Yeah, he chose the right side and then just disappeared and popped back up in the back of the field. But tell you what, capitalizing right now on some points, Ronnie Norman, Matthew George, Cody Height, they're all in that bubble area, and they're all up in top 5, so they're going to do their best to stay up there. I definitely see Norman, George, Engel, Christenberry, guys like that. They're going to stay out and try to get as many points as possible before this stage is over. But guys like Vincent can afford to pit. But we are back under green here, and Vincent with a great restart here. Let's see if he's good through turn 1. Nice and smooth for most of the field here so far.
Everybody pretty much getting through just fine.
Yeah, we've seen this before. The top 3 almost. Norman almost got by Cody Height. Flatline Motorsports.
Well, we got some side-by-side action here with Stats, who, after recovering from that with Brady Motes is all the way up to 5th now. Oh, we've got a car spinning around. I don't know
I couldn't see who it was
if he
there.
managed to catch it because I don't see anybody falling down through the order. Somebody got it quite sideways there and was able to continue, and I thought it was maybe Matthew George, but back up front, Vincent Arthur already pulling a sizable gap, coming up on a full second back to Josh Conover. So once again, this is something that Vincent was looking forward to, just getting this all underway. Tight action here as Dakota Moniz, last week's winner, is now racing alongside of Ryan Bird. Bird advances forward. How about Cody Height sitting in podium position right now in that 3rd place for Harper Motorsports, but he's already fallen about 9/10 back. Here's Ronnie Norman up into 4th place, 8 positions gained. A little blink out there, but he's back on track. Joey Stats just behind though. And this is kind of scary territory as I'm seeing Norman blinking out. And now that's going to allow, is that Matthew George now getting through, as well as Everett Couts getting through on Joey Stats?
Yeah, Stats took a line that tried to avoid Norman from blinking and allowed Couts and George to get by. And you can see Norman still having issues. He's going to let Couts by. Couts scrapes the wall a little bit. And that may not look bad, but I tell you what, I was practicing here and running some laps with some friends and teammates, and you barely tap the wall. You can easily break the rear toe link in these cars. You can just barely tap it, and iRacing will give you that meatball flag that everybody hates. And oh, we see someone blow the bus stop here, the backstretch chicane. Looks like Couts there. He's going to come to a stop. He's going to lose a few positions, but gets back going here.
We're going to be seeing that all night. Drivers really not getting it quite right. There goes Peter Irons by. Number 12 now flying high again up into 8th place. Wouldn't it be something if Peter could fight his way back up there? But you see back there, Couts really struggling already. He just lost another place to Ryan Bird, who's coming through the field. So Bird and Peter Irons fighting their way back through this field as Vincent Arthur and Josh Conover up front set the pace. There's Couts down to the inside of Bird, going side by side for a moment, and now they clear out. There's Bird has emerged in front once again of Couts. So some pretty good action happening here. We've got a couple more moments. This was Tom Senchek a moment ago. What happened to Senchek?
Oh.
He gets nudged by Brady Motes there and up and over. Fortunately, no serious damage on that machine.
Yeah, and that's big because Senchek, one of those guys that's in that gray area for the playoffs, he's not going to be able to capitalize on stage points. Brady Motes, we see possibly having another issue here. It's in too deep, gets sideways, goes around and pretty hard hit into that wall there. Gets it back going, though.
You know, Brady out there racing for as many points as he can get, but we've seen great performances from Brady at road courses this season. So, again, kind of surprising to see as many nerves cropping up in some of these drivers as are, but I think it just speaks to maybe a little bit of the difficulty of this Roval and the fact that it is such an important race for so many of these drivers. They're really just trying to do maybe a little too much.
Sorry. I was going to say pit stops is going to happen possibly on this lap. If you're going to get in, now is the time. We were going to see possibly Vincent, Josh come in this lap, and they'll start in the stage 2 in the lead.
Well, we know, for example, Peter came in and he would have, if he was taking on some damage repair, he would have filled up, possibly taken tires, although he was in on lap number 2, so not necessary. But he's already been in, and then, you know, Ryan Bird and Jacob Malone both in on lap number 6. As we watch Irons, he's now up into 6th place. So Eco Green GT, Mavic out there. Your guy has worked his way all the way back into 6th after that opening lap disaster. Now he's going to make the move down on the inside of Joey's stats.
Yeah, we've seen it before in real life when someone from the lead wrecks and comes back and wins it. Chase Elliott was able to pull it off a few years ago. He missed turn 1, went head on into the barrier, and came back and won the race. So now we're seeing Peter. He goes around lap 1 before the start-finish line, and he's coming back already up to 5th.
He's got that very aggressive line as they head up onto the baking. Very essential to get those fast lap times. So far, fastest lap of the race set by Ryan Bird. Actually, I take that back, looking at the wrong column there, but his last lap was faster significantly, Ryan Bird's was, than just about anyone else's. Everett Couts having another moment here.
I think he's got possibly a toe link broken, or either that, he was just a little bit slow on the banking. Let's see what happens to Everett. He's going to miss the backstretch chicane here, and oh man, does he come to a stop? No, I don't know. I never saw those tires stop moving.
He must be from California, because that's what we call a California stop.
That's a rolling stop there. We'll have to see what administration does if they catch it. If not, he'll probably get away with that. It's hard whenever you don't have a live admin to see things like that, or have an admin have the stream up to see incidents like that. They aren't able to swiftly put out the penalties that they should. But we're on the last lap of the stage here. The stage break is on lap 15. So once we hit 15, the caution will come out, and Vincent Arthur does choose to stay out and get that playoff point for the next round, to just have that one extra point going into the round of 8. So here he comes into the final corner here. Caution is out. That was before he crossed the line, so we'll have to see if maybe there's an incident on track that caused that. No, it was thrown by admin, so that is the stage caution there.
Well, this last lap also fastest Sector 1 and Sector 2 times for Peter Irons, not fastest overall. But
I do want to correct myself. There is actually a live admin here tonight. Nick Geilis is in the server and is being live admin here, so he might see what happened with Everett Couts and make a decision. But I tell you what, Peter Irons, that's insane that he's back up into 4th place, man.
yeah, I was gonna say he's worked his way through the field. He's back up into 4th, and I mean, Vincent Arthur right now has got to be like, you got to be kidding me. This guy has worked all the way from the back up to 4th place, and now Peter, it depends on what happens here with the pit stops, because I mean, I don't know how aggressive Peter's going to go here, but he could come in with everyone else and then come back out in 4th. That's probably the best call, but he could also stay out there.
Well, I mean, they can get 22 and a half laps on fuel, from what I was told, so it could be a strategy to stay out here and then pit right before the end of stage 2 to set yourself up for the last stage.
Well, with that, we're going to take a momentary break. You won't miss anything. We're going to go side by side, so stay tuned. We will be right back here on VirtualRacing.Network. Don't go anywhere. welcome back here on VirtualRacing.Network. That was something. That's all I can say. That was something, the first stage here. But look who is back in the lead. He decided not to pit after all, and so did Ryan Bird. And as a result, we're back to where we were on the start. And this has been a topsy-turvy one, but Peter Irons back in the lead. So with that, I don't know if we're going to get a chance to chat with him.
Yeah, we still got another lap going around. We got a small window of opportunity. If you want to ask him some questions, I'll pull him up.
Absolutely, please do. So we're going to get a chance. Here we go. Hey, Peter Irons, this is Trevor Greenfield, Christian Snyder here in the booth. Congratulations on working your way all the way back through the field after such a difficult first lap.
Yeah, that was a little horrendous. Thank you. I wish I didn't do that, but we're here.
Well, congratulations, though, taking pole position in your debut here on VirtualRacing.Network and in the NORA Cup Series. Difficult to do, some really great competition out there. But you must be really feeling it behind the wheel because you did slice and dice back through the field. Now, how's the car feeling? And then where does this put you as far as your strategy for the rest of the race?
So I'm not going to try to spoil too much of my strategy, but we're thinking we're on the same strategy as everybody else here. So we're thinking just one stop in stage 2 and we should be chilling.
Well, you got some great fans out here in Eco Green GT and Mavic. They're rooting you on.
They're the best. Appreciate those guys.
Well, we appreciate them joining us here live on VirtualRacing.Network. Anything you have to say to them, and what would it mean to win in your debut here?
Yeah, Kyle and Terry, I love you guys. Thanks for watching me. Sorry, I kind of embarrassed us, but we're back here. We're gonna win. Just trust me.
You made it really exciting, actually, but
that was the point, right?
Couldn't make it too easy.
I did that.
Just take the pole position and go run off and leave everybody. That's too easy. You got to work for it a little bit. Well, Peter, good luck to you. We'll let you finish out this race, and hopefully we'll be talking to you at the end in our podium discussions. Okay?
Thank you. I'll see you there.
That is Peter Irons for Harper Motorsports, driving the number 12 this week because Tim Harper decided to sit it out and give a new guy a chance. And Christian, it's been exciting watching Peter.
Yeah. Exciting is one word for it. Impressive is another one. Going through the field that quick to finish top 5 in the stage, that's really impressive. And Tim Harper, he said, I'm a little bit too scared to run the Roval. I got to find somebody, and he might have found someone who can come over and change the outlook for the rest of the season if he's able to put him in a car.
Well, that's certainly the case, and this is all about finding. I mean, we're in the hot and heavy in the silly season as well, and Christian, February is just right around the corner, and NORA going to be starting back up again. It's always a great time to bring in new drivers, let them get a feel for the league, see how they'll do, how they'll perform. And this is always a great audition time for some of these drivers to get out there and, make a name for themselves. Hopefully a good name for themselves. But everybody's taking note for sure of Peter Irons out there tonight.
Yeah, definitely silly season is in full swing. Just this week, Full Send signed 3 new guys for next season. So can't wait for next year already. I'm excited for February. I'm running full time. I got some new guys coming in the Cup Series. I can't wait. I'm excited.
Absolutely, a lot of excitement for you, Christian, for us here at VirtualRacing.Network, and of course the NORA Cup Series. So if you're out there, you're watching, you want to get involved, there's a link down in the description, and of course there's also the NORA Discord that you can join. So just get in touch, and we'll make sure that you get a chance to get out there and be a part of this action in February. Again, I mean, it's been popular this year, but you can only imagine how many more drivers want to get out there and get a crack at the full season. So we'll look forward to seeing you all there in Daytona in February. It should be a blast. But Christian, we've got a great race in front of us, and of course we've got the end of the 2023 season in front of us. We still have a lot of drivers trying to qualify into that round of 8.
I'll tell you what, I'm getting deja vu, and I'm a little scared here because the front row that we see right now were the 2 that started the race, and they didn't make it out of turn 1, so I got jitters right now.
Ryan Bird and Peter Irons going to start on that front row. There goes Peter. Well, they made it further than he did the first lap. Bird on board with him. He'll take it into turn 1 okay this time. Jacob Malone follows suit.
I can take a breath. We're good. We got through turn 1.
Oh, you did go and say that, didn't you? I believe that's Conover. Conover.
There's a lot of cars there.
Indeed, we've got several cars involved. There's Everett Couts back there. We've got Cameron Thompson.
Cottle, Chad Angle.
Cottle. Let's it was looking so good for 2 full corners with the leaders. Let's jump back here a little bit. Don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. So first, we'll take a look here at Cameron Thompson. Thompson gets
like
turned. Oh my goodness. And then
he got loose in turn 1 and goes around, and then it gets collected from there.
He's racing on the inside of Vincent Arthur and just, I don't know, is he stepping on the gas too much? What?
That's what it looks like. I think he just, on cold tires, Vincent said it, these cars are very sensitive on cold tires, and just throttles up and wheel hops a little bit, goes around. Ronnie Norman barely avoids it. Cody Height involved, Chad Angle, Brady Motes, Cottle. That's 5 playoff guys involved in this one.
My goodness. Here's Conover. It's going to be a bumpy ride here.
Yeah, he gets through this right here, and then just cold tires, goes around on his own.
Rough go of it. We'll watch Everett Couts while we're at it.
Yeah, we got time to watch what all these drivers saw going in. Man. Yeah, it's such a blind corner whenever you start to go up that hill. If someone gets around, it's so narrow that there's just nowhere to go.
Now this was Chad Angle after the yellow had been thrown, I believe. And deciding to follow protocol and wait it out.
Yeah, Josh Conover, though, he said, nah, forget protocol, I'm going.
So there's Conover just kind of creeping around there in the back.
Yeah, I think he has a slowdown on his screen that's telling him to give up some time.
Indeed, by just flying through that chicane, he now has a moment. So Chad Ingle, number 88 there in the middle of your screen. Unfortunately, at the back, he also had a big moment. This was actually, that was the last one. And then this was headed into the melee. He just gets caught right in the middle of everything.
Yeah, I think he kept it off the wall there. He just kind of was stuck in a position where he couldn't
I'm not sure.
go anywhere.
Did he get... Because I think he's like... Is he stuck on the wall? Because why didn't he move?
It's hard to turn left right here. You just got to hit the brakes and then just kind of find your spot there.
He's like pinned up against the wall there with Thompson and... Who was that?
Now it's a game of who wants to go first.
There we go. And Cottle also pinning him against the wall. So we've got a couple of biters on this yellow to come down onto pit road. That's Cody Height, one of those championship contenders. Blake Hoppy. Deciding to get in. He's got one of those pink paint jobs for tonight. Jacob Gladelich. Cameron Thompson. Cameron involved in that incident. Chad Engel involved in that incident. And, of course, Everett Couts also involved in an incident. Peter Irons, the guy to talk about, though, comes in out of nowhere for Harper Motorsports, takes pole position, spins out before the start-finish line on the first lap, then drives his way back through the field to 4th place at the stage break, decides not to pit, and now with all these caution laps, it's just kind of extending this pit window. But he's still out there in the lead. Ryan Bird in 2nd place. Bird doing the same thing. I think normally we would talk about Bird first and the amazing things that he's doing. But tonight we've got this new guy in Peter Irons who's, I mean, just showing that he can hang with the best of the best road course racers now in the NORA Cup Series, like Ryan Bird.
Yeah, definitely an impressive road course racer. I was looking at his iRacing stats, and he's really close to 5,000 iRatings. So he's talented at more than road courses. He's talented at ovals, too, it appears.
Well, it'll be very interesting if he can join Harper Motorsports. Harper really growing, and of course, as Harper has moved over into the Icon Cup Series, bringing quite a few great drivers under that Harper banner over there, and it's amazing to watch some of these teams continue to grow. So, Eco Green GT, in fact, adding on, you should see him run oval. Well, I would say so, but you talk about oval talents that we've got here. I mean, official racing is one thing, but we've been watching these guys run all season long, and there is some really great talent here in this league. A certain guy by the name of Dustin Kleba comes to mind. Of course, our great Vincent Arthur, who's won 5 of the last 9 races, I believe now. Just Josh Conover, who you can never count out. Ronnie Norman, who's there when others fail. There's Ronnie. Just some great talent here in the NORA Cup Series, so we would love to have Peter join, of course, full-time if that's what he's interested in and if that works out for him. And certainly anyone else out there who's got a inkling to do so, and you know how to drive these things around these ovals and road courses fast, come on out, be a part of NORA for 2024. It should be an absolute blast.
Yeah, we got 2 new guys making their debut next week. So even though it's late in the season, we got new guys coming in to prepare for next year, and we should have a pretty good field next week at Las Vegas.
Oh, that'll be so exciting. Las Vegas, very interesting venue. It's so funny how the cookie cutter D-shaped oval tracks are anything but exactly cookie cutter.
Yeah,
it's like they couldn't be any different. Like Charlotte races so absolutely different than Texas and different than Las Vegas, and Vegas with that nice banking. I've actually driven an Indy car out at Las Vegas in real life.
Really?
Yeah.
That's insane.
It was a lot of fun. About 195 miles an hour. That banking is real. It is something else.
Yeah, whenever I think of Las Vegas and I think of IndyCar, a lot of, rough memories come up for that. And I actually, the year that it happened was the first year that we were running NORA, or I think it was actually shortly after we started NORA. I ran a paint scheme commemorating the man we lost there.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Dan
Weldon. That was a really tragic thing. And, I mean, obviously, NASCAR, their own tragedies over the years. I know even just in the Discord for NORA the other day, we were joking around. Well, I think it was NORA. We were joking around about Kyle Petty, and then Adam Petty's name popped up. And it's, you don't have to go very far in this sport before you run into some of those sad stories of drivers who have been taken before their time, but it does happen. And obviously at Las Vegas, that was That year,
Yeah.
that was what, 2011, I believe.
It was around then. Yeah, it was pretty far back, but yeah, I was number 77, and he was number 77, so I put together a paint scheme for him and ran Las Vegas in it. Ended up, I think, winning. So
nice. Well, there you go, carrying a little bit of extra luck on your back, I'm sure. Well, here we go. That's next week. This week, the Charlotte Roval, and it has been an absolute challenge for a lot of these drivers so far, but Peter Irons and Ryan Bird back in this one. We're going to stay clean here into turn number 1. Vincent Arthur takes it into the inside, and Jacob Malone almost gets around. Everybody so far getting through just fine.
See a little bit of a tire lock up there by Caudle. Height almost slides into Kulikowski. It's going to allow Everett Couts by.
Back up front, Irons once again pulling a little bit of a gap. Looking back, there's Bird, Arthur, and Malone. Everybody's sort of filing in right now. How about Matthew George now up into that 5th spot? Oh, I hear somebody. There's Joey Stats going around. As they come up onto the banking, he'll get it straightened out, but not before he falls back to 20th place. Difficult run for him. Here comes Peter Irons. Is he going to lead this first lap of his first green flag lap here? Oh, he's coming into the pits. So this is his lap to come in. And now that's going to give Ryan Bird the chance to continue on. Bird and he came in on the same lap, so then we would expect that Peter Irons will be coming back in. I mean, Ryan Bird will be coming in on the very next lap.
Yeah, we're around there because he pit on, I believe, lap 2, and it's 22.5 on fuel, so he can probably stretch it to 24.
Well, I've got lap 6, and there has been 6. A lot of caution, but I couldn't tell you.
He might be good.
Well, why did Peter come in so early then?
Not sure on that one. I mean, maybe to just guarantee that he can split it in half for the last stage, because we're about 40 laps to go, and he can split that in half directly in pit with 20 to go and be good to the end.
Well, if you're a road course racing fan, this is what you pay to see. You know, I thought we might see this at Indianapolis. There was a few times that I really wanted to see this showdown between Ryan Bird and Vincent Arthur. But hopefully we get a chance to see this one play out tonight, because these are the two top road course talents in the NORA Cup Series.
Trouble in the backstretch chicane there. I see Adam Kulikowski slow. Something happened with him. He might have missed the chicane and had to come to a stop, but he's one of those playoff guys that are in a almost must-win situation. He's not having a good night so far here. Oh, he goes around.
Oh, rough go of it there for him. Gets it going again, though.
Yeah, that track map is pretty crucial to seeing incidents, but you can follow your favorite driver on that too and see where they are on the track. I can see Vincent Arthur has taken the lead off of Ryan Bird here very recently, and now Bird trying to fight back.
Hey, Christian, 57 seconds in the box for Peter Irons. 54 seconds, excuse me, for Peter Irons.
Wow.
So extremely long pit stop, and once again, Peter Irons going to have to fight his way through the field.
Well, not necessarily. He should be able to stay out for when the stage caution comes out. He'll go back up to probably, I would say, the top 5, if not the lead, depending on how many people stay out here for this stage. So he should be fine, but that's definitely odd. Maybe he's just trying to get the rest of his damage repaired there in pit road.
Well, we've also got John Cottle having a moment, and Chad Engel, who's just behind, having a moment. They seem to have recovered okay, back up to the front. This is your battle. This is what all these fans, I mean, Christian, they have sold out the Charlotte Motor Speedway grandstands once again. The NORA Cup Series really packing them in. People want to see these playoffs turning out in droves here at the virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway. And this is why they're turning out. These two drivers right here, we knew that coming in it was going to be Arthur and Bird. It's like a heavyweight prize fight. Everybody wants to see these two go at it on a road course, and this is what the fans paid their admission for.
Yeah, for sure. Every time that Vincent ran a road course and won, Bird wasn't in the field, and every time Bird ran a road course, Vincent wasn't in the field, except for Sonoma. Bird pulled some strategy to get ahead of Vincent, but we see some problems here for Tom Senchek and Ronnie Norman, both having damage on their cars here. Let's see what happens here.
This was a little bit earlier for Norman. Everett Couts.
Oh, man.
That is championship driver right there.
I tell you what, not only that, Ronnie owns JRC Sim Team, and Everett Couch runs for that, so he just put his owner in the wall.
Well, that happened just a moment before Senchek had this incident.
Really aggressive over the bumps there, and you can see he gets loose.
Oh, my goodness, that is playoff championship driver Tom Senchek having a big old moment and pulling it back up. And that the front end on that thing is beat down.
Yeah, that's definitely not good, especially him needing points here in this stage. He needs to have a good comeback here. We'll pull up the standings as they run here back up to the live picture, and you can see they're not in position to get points. Both Ronnie Norman and Senchek right outside that top 10. And those are two guys that desperately need the points as we see pit stops here underway. Josh Conover, one of the first ones to come in here. This is the last chance that you have, is this lap. I think he was right on the money coming in right before pits closed.
Joey Stats and Peter Irons back in right now. So it does look like Peter Irons' night is continuing to get worse. I'm not sure what exactly is going on there. It could be penalties. It could be weirdly not getting your damage fixed on the car. You know, I would assume it's penalties, though. Maybe speeding, getting into the pits.
That's a possibility. I tell you what, battle's heating up front, but I think this is the last opportunity that Ryan Bird has to pit before the stage. So we'll see if he comes in. You can see Vincent, he's going to come in. This is the last chance. As soon as Ryan Bird crosses the line, pits will be closed. And actually, pits are already closed before he hits the line.
So Bird last coming in on lap number 6, and he's able to stay out there and make it work.
He believes he saved enough fuel to make it, and he's going to get 10 points. I mean, he's pretty secure points-wise, but this is going to absolutely lock him in to the next round. So good job by Ryan Bird maximizing his points this round and making it into the round of 8.
Well, some absolutely stellar driving already from Ryan Bird, and he may have made that incident or that mistake on the first lap, but thus far it has been nothing but gold behind the wheel for Ryan Bird, and he is definitely looking to bring home this stage win here for the second stage. As a result, he will, as you said, punch his ticket into that round of 8.
Yeah, we'll have to talk with him after the stage caution and see how he feels getting locked in with this stage win here. The rest of the drivers, though, you know, I wasn't going to do the calculator and try to work on those points figure out who's in, who's not. I'm just waiting for official word after the race from admins. Too much work on the calculator to figure all that out.
Too much mathin'.
Yep.
But here we go. Bird continuing on around the Charlotte Roval. Jacob Malone sits in second place. Matthew George in third. Brady Moats in fourth. Cody Height in fifth place. And of course, as you can see, all those yellow drivers now up into the top 10 with John Cottle outside and Vincent Arthur, after making that pit stop, now in 13th place. But he will cycle back around as everyone finishes up their pit stops. Here's Adam Kulikowski. He needed a great finish here tonight. I know probably the Charlotte Roval is not the place he would pick to have to get himself into the round of 8, but got to do what you got to do. Unfortunately, it's not working out for him back here in 17th position. But Ryan Bird, it is working out for him, and he seems to be feeling pretty good right now. Again, this next lap is going to be the one.
Yep, there it is.
That's it right there.
And the reason they're throwing the caution so early is so that they don't have to go an entire lap around to pass the pace car. So they're going to let the pace car get right in front of Bird right away. So that's a good call by the admins to not have an extra lap, an unnecessary lap on the track here.
Well, Jacob Malone getting in a great second place there in the stage. And Matthew George has a great run there in the second stage as well. Finish up third place. Brady Moats. Well, Brady's already had a very adventuresome evening already. But my goodness me, there he is already back into fourth place. And Cody Height, as you mentioned, in fifth. Jake Christenberry. We haven't seen the Christenberry fan club come out in the YouTube chat room. Hope they're okay. But Jake right now running in that sixth spot. Everett Couts, again, despite his adventures tonight, seventh place. Both he and Christenberry up 13 places from the start. And Senchek seems to have recovered okay, even with that bashed in nose on that thing. He's still in 8th place. Ronnie Norman, after getting run off the track and put into the wall by what is effectively his team, his teammate, he's there in 9th place, so still hanging on to a top spot. Cameron Thompson, your last driver in the top 10. So with that, we're going to step aside one more time. We'll go ahead and bring up somebody for a driver interview. We'll be right back. You won't miss anything as we go side by side here on VirtualRacing.Network. Stay tuned for the rest of this race. Should be an absolute great one. And welcome back here on VirtualRacing.Network. So great to have you with us live here in the YouTube chat room. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Of course, you need that to be able to chat, but you'll want to be up in the know for all of our future NORA Cup Series playoff races, as well as the Truck Series and the Icon Cup Series that happens on Sunday. All are in the playoffs. Make sure you are subscribed, and also make sure to like this video if you can. Right now, we are joined here in the booth by none other than Ryan Bird, who took that second stage and right now has come back out of the pits in 7th place. Ryan, fabulous job leading the flock here to take the second stage. What's your idea? How are you going to fly to a race win here tonight?
Hopefully not repeat that lap 1 mistake and just try and keep it clean. Hopefully some chaos ensues. I think that's what I need at this point. I'm on the back foot a little bit on strategy with having to make up ground from that, but wanted to make sure I locked myself into the next round of the playoffs with that stage.
Well, and that's, you know, I didn't want to bring up the 800-pound elephant there, or 800-pound gorilla in the room, but yeah, you did kind of touch your beak into the barrier there in turn number 1. What kind of happened there? Was it just cold tires? Was it you were a little lost track of it, or was it just, you know, honest mistake and just got it a little wrong into turn 1?
Yeah, I kind of misunderstood what they were saying about the restart zone in the Discord chat. So what I had practiced for restarts was completely different, and we were going way faster in there than anything I practiced, and I just locked the rears as soon as I touched the brakes. So my bad on that one. So sorry to anyone that got involved in my mess there. I know there was a lot going on that first lap though.
Oh, there sure was. Of course, you know, watching yourself and Peter Irons work your way back and then forward through the field, it was quite something else. But nevertheless, right now you're sitting back here in 8th place. Final question, you got to get all the way up there, then you got to get past Vincent Arthur. Do you have that magic feather in your cap to be able to get up there past everybody?
Man, I hope so. The cars are not 100%, obviously. Sorry, the bird puns are taking me out right now. I hope I do, but I'm not sure. Vincent's always super fast at these things. Hopefully I can get up there and race him, you know, race him for real for once.
Well, hopefully you get your claws on another trophy here in the NORA Cup Series. Great having you with us, Ryan. We'll talk to you after this race, I'm sure.
Thank you, thank you.
So that is Ryan Bird absolutely having to earn every single bit of this possible race podium or race victory here tonight. Christian, it's been a very interesting race through these first 2 stages. I can't use any other words than interesting. But here we are looking at the front 2, Arthur and Conover. Look who's in 3rd.
Yeah, it's no surprise. He got the rest of his damage fixed, and those pit stops, I think he even had a penalty, and you know, but just because he pit that early part, he gets to stay out here and benefits from it. And now we're going to see the Peter Irons versus Vincent Arthur show. And, you know, Vincent's got help with Josh Vaughn over there to possibly be a blocker for Vincent.
Well, and you've got some other things going on. I mean, you've got Brady Moats there. He's been anything but consistent tonight, but he needs to be in order to get the maximum amount of points and move forward into that round of 8. You've got, you know, Joey Stats, who's been pretty solid tonight. Jacob Malone, who's been very fast. He's going to be fighting for position. I mean, this is going to be tricky for Bird to get forward, but Vincent Arthur going to lead it back to Barney the Flag Man, and we are green here again at the Charlotte Roval. And chaos ensues. Malone and Stats and Cameron Thompson involved. I believe Dakota Moniz involved in this one. We got Chad Engel. Moniz reports back to the pits. Cameron Thompson still out there. Chad Engel gets underway again. And unfortunately, Christian, I believe also championship driver Cody Height caught in this one as well.
Yeah, that one started with Cameron Thompson going into turn 1. We'll have to take a look at exactly what happens, but it looks like he had a Ryan Bird situation where he locked up the tires getting on the brakes right here. He starts braking and it just hooks left, takes out Cody Height. Joey Stats, Chad Engel just kind of taps Joey Stats there, so he's involved, but not much damage there.
Well, I'm betting, my feeling would be is he's adjusting the brake bias, and perhaps with new tires, he didn't reset it back to where exactly he wanted to be. My goodness. Rough go of it.
And Ryan Bird and Ronnie Norman barely snuck through that one. Tom Senchek as well goes evasive to get through that, but here's what Joey Stats sees. And just almost no warning when that happens, when you get right reared.
Well, and then here is what Cody Height saw. Oh.
Out of nowhere.
Next thing you know, he's got a Keystone Light in his face. Which normally you'd like, but not this way in a race.
I mean, you don't like them thrown at you. They are solid when they're full.
Exactly. Hurts.
It does.
So, Vincent Arthur is going to have to reset here. We've still got quite a few laps to make it to the end of this thing. 31 laps. I think that...
I was going to say, we got a lot of time to possibly talk to another driver, because I don't think anyone else is going to pit. And, this would be... Oh, actually, is Josh Conover pitting? He is.
He is.
That's an interesting call.
I was going to ask...
Norman pitting as well?
I was going to ask if you wanted to bring up Mr. Excitement, Josh Conover.
That's what I was going to bring up. We have a lot of time between these restarts, so Josh likes to kind of run on with his interviews. So
yeah,
he's very excitable.
Absolutely, he's got a lot to say.
Yeah, and you never know what he's going to say. It could be the happy Josh Conover, or it could be the very upset Josh Conover.
It's true. Well, I mean,
we had the most exciting interview, I think, a couple weeks ago with him.
Yes, we did.
Colorful.
That's one way to describe it. You want to bring him up?
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, let's see which version we get here tonight.
All right.
There he is, Josh Conover. It's Christian and Trevor up in the booth. You got us?
I do.
All right. Well, you pit here a little bit before the opening to make it the rest of the way. So, what's the strategy call here for pitting this early?
Just less fuel for the final stop. Kind of see what happens. Probably still end up taking tires, but now I can kind of push a little harder than I originally had planned and go from there, I guess.
Yeah, I see teammate Ronnie Norman came in with you there, and he's going to be on the same strategy. Do you think you got anything for Vincent and Peter up there up front to possibly get a win for that 25 car?
Vinny, yeah. I have to be perfect every corner, every lap, but we all the practicing we did this week, I was only about a tenth, actually inside of a tenth off, which obviously for a road course, that's one bad corner missed by an inch can equal that. So that's why I said I just got to be perfect, and if I can somehow push him into a mistake, which he has made before, we have a shot. If Peter gets out front, no, but we'll see what happens. Like you said, we're still gonna have to stop. So it's if somebody messes up pit entry or have a rules infraction, which you've seen already tonight, could change how this thing ends up.
And I think Trevor, he mentioned that you just got married over the weekend, so congrats on that.
Congratulations, Josh.
Thank you. Everybody says you lose half of what you got, and I just kept on saying half of nothing is still nothing. So.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
No.
Trevor, you got anything to add for him here?
You seem really happy in all of your photos, Josh, and I mean that's just something that's great to see. I hope all that happiness carries over on the track, makes you an even better sim racer, and you know, best of luck to you both going forward. Congratulations, big deal, and totally unexpected to all of us, but great job, man.
Yeah, thank you. You got to grow up at some point, so figured that would be a good first step. But real quick before I do go, I do have a playoff update for you guys. So Bird with stage points is locked in. It's probably going to be a lot here, so if you guys forget, I completely understand. But Height is 4th plus 22. Matthew George is 5th plus 13. Norman and Moats are 6th and 7th, tied plus 8. And then Senchek and Christenberry are tied right now at 30-57. And Christenberry, as of right now, has the tiebreaker with a better finish so far this round, which obviously, depending on how Senchek does, that can change. Engels -5, Kolakowski -17, and Cottle -29. So, like I said, to kind of give you an idea on what we're looking at for the Drivers' Championship.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Josh, for filling everybody in on that, and we'll look forward to seeing a great end to this race and sorting out who makes it in. Congratulations again on your success, and good luck with the end of the race, my friend.
Thank you. Hopefully we can get some green flag laps going here.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm sure it'll happen, and looking forward to this battle between Vincent Arthur and Peter Irons and Ryan Bird. I mean, this is 3 heavyweights in road course racing. It should be really exciting. See if you can get up there and go challenge them as well.
Hey, we're gonna give it a try, that's for sure. But I'm here obviously for owners and trying to get the 25 in. I think we'll be all right. But like I said, we still got 29 we get back green, so a lot can happen, especially considering how many cautions we've had already.
Yes, sir. Well, good luck, and maybe we'll be talking to you on the podium after all this anyway. It seems to be working out that way during the season. You don't think you're going to be there, and then next thing you know, he's on the podium.
I got my work cut out for me tonight. It's going to be tough to try and get back to the field, like I said, with the cautions already and stuff, but we're going to give her our best attempt and see what happens.
All right. Good luck, man.
Thank you.
So that is Josh Conover. He's the head admin. We don't ever necessarily properly talk about that, but he runs the whole show here. The head honcho, the big cheese, big enchilada here for the NORA Cup and Truck Series. And
yeah, for a minute there, I thought he was going to talk through the restart.
Yeah, I mean, why not? And he's also playing MLB on the side, or Call of Duty, or both. So
we actually did play MLB today, so that's a good call there.
And we are green once again here at Charlotte on the Roval.
Something to look at there on that restart. Peter was being so cautious not to spin his tires in that 12 car and make the same mistake he did earlier. That allowed Matthew George to get underneath him now.
Absolutely.
And I see a little bit of an issue back in the field. Everett Couts got a little sideways, but was able to recover.
Oh, we've got Engel. Oh, and Joey Stats into Engel again. And the yellow flag comes out once again. Eco Green GT says, now this is Roval Racing. Hey, this is NORA Cup Roval Racing to be exact. And indeed, we want to see some green flag racing just as much as anyone else out there. We appreciate everybody sticking around with us. I'm sure it'll happen on the next time. I'm positive. Roval equals human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
I like that description. That's pretty good. I mean, we kind of knew this was going to happen. Have a couple cautions here for these guys because it's playoff racing. It's the final race for the cutoff. Everyone's driving a little bit desperate, and we see these issues happen whenever it's a cutoff race. But we'll take a look at exactly what happens. It starts with Cody Height here off the pace. Chad Engel drives it in hard there. tries keeping it off of Cody, and then I believe Stats. I'm used to saying Guileless when I see that 3 car, but Stats gets into Chad Angle there a little bit and then loses control and finishes him off on the exit of the corner.
Well, tough go of it. Fortunately, Height able to get it straightened back out again, but these two, Chad Angle, Joey Stats, touching here. My goodness.
Yeah, I think, I mean, hindsight always 2020, but I think Joey would have been better off cutting a right there and missing that corner and coming to a stop on this little straightaway to save a caution there. But, I mean, he held his line, but he wasn't going to make that corner.
Well, we are under caution yet again for a couple of spinning vehicles. So we're going to take a moment here and we're going to go to commercial break. We'll be right back here on VirtualRacing.Network. And why not? We'll scare up another driver interview. Why not? We'll be right back. And welcome back here on VirtualRacing.Network. You're watching live iRacing as we continue our coverage of the NORA Cup Series 2023 playoffs. This is the deciding race to see who gets into the round of 8. And of course, we'll be at Las Vegas Motor Speedway next. Tonight we're at the Charlotte Roval. But we have a chance to chat with another one of our drivers. It's this guy who's on your screen for Ready to Wreck Racing, Brady Moats, out of Alberta, Alabama. Brady, welcome to the broadcast. Great to talk to you. How's your race been out there tonight? It's been looked like it's been filled with a lot of adventure.
Considering that I had about 3 laps of practice before we started qualifying, it's definitely been an adventure to say the least. I think I've wrecked maybe 4 times or 5 times, but I mean, it's just like Indy Road experience, to be honest. I mean, here I am. I mean, given it is off a little bit of strategy, but here we are getting a little bit of track position and getting out of the mayhem in the back. Yeah, definitely been an adventure though. I definitely thought we were only going to have yellows for the stages and just kind of keep it rolling tonight, but I guess everybody's pushing as hard as they can. This is a cutoff race.
It is a cutoff race. Obviously, you're racing as hard as you can. You're now up into 2nd place, though. You going for that win? You gonna try to take it to Arthur? What's your plan out there tonight? Would you be satisfied with 2nd?
I mean, I'll just stay humble. Yeah, I mean, I'll be satisfied with 2nd, but I got a lot of fast guys around me. If I can just maintain my 8 spots ahead of Kristen Berry and Tom, because they're both tied right now at the cutoff, then I will be able to advance. I know Kristen Berry right now is running 4th, so that's definitely an indication. I'm not sure where Tom is.
Tom's 11th right now.
Yeah, I just need to maintain that gap and not fall 8 positions behind them. So I know it's real tight right there at that gap between about 6 or 7 of us. So gonna be interesting, but yeah, no, I'll stay humble. I mean, I'm not. Unless something absolutely unbelievable happens, then I probably won't have a shot to win, but I like to just at least keep them a straightaway away.
Well, let me ask this. If we have 2 different scenarios. If we continue like this, we get in, 2 to 5 laps, maybe under green, and then we do more cautions. If we keep that up for the rest of the night versus going green flag racing all the way to the end, how does that change your strategy?
I mean, I think I'm going to pull a Vincent Arthur and say, we'll wait and see. We definitely got some cooking, though. But, I mean, if it keeps doing this, that's for sure. But I think everybody else is thinking the same thing we are. But I'm not going to say it out loud.
Well, we're gonna watch on and see if you can do it. In the meantime, anything you're feeling out there as far as the car goes on the track? Any weird corners? Anything you're noticing from the handling side of things out there tonight?
I didn't know that that NORA supplied us with 450 Honda dirt bikes to run this race because exiting the infield and right here where we're coming through right now, it's an absolute pogo stick. So I know Ryan Bird made the comment that whoever made this setup should not make any more setups, and I cannot agree more. But we're making do with it, making it happen. But yeah, it's definitely a pogo stick in a lot of spots. Way too stiff on the suspension, but we're making it work. Trying to just keep our attrition and stay out of the bad stuff.
Indeed, and well, we'll watch on to find out how you do, Brady. Right now you're sitting in second, and that will get you into the round of 8. So hopefully we'll talk with you after this race is over and get a chance to celebrate together as you move on to the next round of the playoffs.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see how we land. Thank you, Trevor.
My pleasure. So that is Brady Moats, driver of the number 15 Ford for Ready to Wreck Racing. And Christian, it's been a phenomenal race so far, but as he said, this setup is a little weird. Should we tell him that all Josh did was just pull in the default setup from iRacing?
Yeah, I mean, whoever made the default setup for iRacing needs to stop making setups, since I think what they're going at. I mean, I ran it earlier this week, and he said pogo stick. I had to chuckle a little bit because it is very bumpy, especially if you hit those turtles, those little blue things in the corners. My goodness, this car just gets unsettled so quickly.
Well, the suspension parameters on these cars are not exactly totally for this type of high curb strike. I mean, this isn't really what you deal with on an oval. So a lot of this adjustments, I mean, you do have bump stops, that sort of thing, to keep the cars from completely bottoming out, etc. But you know, not super sophisticated suspension for road course racing like you might see in Formula One or IndyCar or something along those lines. But right now, you do the best with what you got. I mean, for me, I think the drivers that, for example, do a lot of official racing and they're used to just, you know, if you run fixed in official racing, I mean, you can't do anything about that setup except for adjust like brake bias and, you know, maybe the steering, and that's it. So you get used to it, and if that thing's going to bounce all over the place, hey, everyone else has got to deal with it too.
Yeah, and everyone is dealing with it tonight. I mean, this setup is probably one of the worst this season for the NORA Cup Series, but these guys are doing a good job so far of handling it, so we'll have to see.
Well, we're back under green here at the Charlotte Roval as Brady Moats holds on to second place. There's Kristen Berry in the number 23 closing in there in third, with Peter Irons on the outside for Harper Motorsports. So far, so good. Everyone else getting through just fine. Would be interesting to see this one go green flag to the end. Couts really getting sideways again there. My goodness. He's just having all kinds of issues now, sliding back through the field into 7th. See Conover appearing just behind him now. Conover pushing his way up, looking at possibly taking 7th from Couts. Oh, I'm hearing some problems. There's Ryan Bird and Chad Engel involved in an incident. And now we've got even more incidents. This has got Jake Christenberry, and I believe Cody Height momentarily was involved.
Yeah, and that's going to bring out a caution.
And now
More than two cars involved.
Bird has gone back to the pits.
Well, he's locked in. I mean, he's probably just he got a lot of damage in that wreck, so we'll have to take a look here. But he gets into Chad Engel pretty hard here. Through, I don't know which corner this is, but it's, oh man, there was contact behind them too.
Contact in front,
Chad.
Contact in back. Chad Engel gets sideways and Bird right into the side.
Yeah, that's a difficult corner to avoid because the car is like unloading and just automatically wants to go to the right, and you're in that process of turning left at that moment. And unfortunately, he didn't turn left far enough, but we see a smoke there coming onto oval turn 1. I believe that had to be with Christenberry here. Oh man,
Christenberry gets a little sideways and Cottle gets caught up in it. That's 2 of your championship drivers right there.
yeah, Cottle in a must win, and he saw Christenberry get a little bit loose, and then he got loose at the same time and kind of got into it with Christenberry. So, I mean, you heard Brady, Christenberry, and I believe he said Semchek were tied, but this is big for Christenberry now because he's going to have to come back from this.
Christenberry tries to just drive through Cottle. As Cottle
Typically doesn't work.
Well, Christenberry's gone. Cottle's still just recovering now. But Cottle's been bounced all over the place here tonight. And it looks as though, as you said, Ryan Bird, he's done. His work is done out there on the track. He's completed what he needs to do, and he's locked himself in. Brady Motes, it's kind of like what we were just talking about for Brady. You know, we got 2 scenarios that could play out. One is we keep having a lot of yellows. One is we go green flag until the end. And
well, I mean, if you're going to go for the end, this is the lap to pit. You know, it's going to be coming to get 23 to go, and you get about 23 laps on fuel. And especially with cautions, you're going to be able to save a certain amount. But taking into account that we might have a couple green-white checkers, maybe wait and see if you get another caution here and pit with maybe 20 to go, maybe 18 to go. But it looks like possibly some pit stops here. Yeah, here they come. The entire field here. Let's see if anyone pulls some strategy. Cody Height going to be the first guy to stay out and the only guy to stay out, it looks like.
here comes everybody down pit lane, as you said. Vincent Arthur leading that group with Brady Motes in tow. Going to take full fuel and perhaps tires here.
Fuel only there for Brady Motes.
Fuel only. Maybe a lot of these drivers feeling they haven't really put enough laps on these tires yet. Yes, Cottle sticking around in the pits, going to take on full service. Gladelich, Engel, Kulikowski, and Christenberry all in the pits and taking on perhaps some damage repair on that number 23, but certainly taking on full fuel and tires. The 88 there of Chad Engel doing exactly the same thing for Brian Powell Motorsport.
Tell you what, we got a chance again to talk to yet another driver. I think we're talking to more drivers than we have all season in this race.
Yeah, it's a great chance to do that. Why not?
Yes. We can talk to Cody Height and see what this strategy's all about here, I guess.
Let's get Cody Height on YouTube into the booth. Let's talk to him.
There he is, Cody Height. It's Christian and Trevor up in the booth. You got us?
Hey, boys. Yeah, I got you.
I mean, wild strategy here. You're going to stay out. You're the only one staying out here on this caution. So what do you got to do to hold these guys off with newer tires and more fuel?
Hope for cautions.
That's...
Sorry, if I would have pitted there, I would have only been able to put a gallon in the car because I would have pitted on the last caution. So thought I'd stay out and get out of the hornet's nest.
I mean, that's a good strategy from what we're seeing here tonight. You know, if it's cautions after cautions and you're able to get good restarts and be out front, might be able to put this thing in victory lane here tonight.
Yeah, here's to hoping.
Well, how's the car feeling tonight? We're hearing a lot of drivers saying that this setup is absolutely wicked and hard to handle. So how are you faring out there?
Dude, it is the bounciest thing I have ever driven in my entire life. Like, you hit bumps on the tracks you can't even see, and you're like a pogo stick just bouncing.
That's actually the second driver who said it's a pogo stick. I don't know if I can compare a car to a pogo stick, but it is bouncy, man.
Yeah, dude. I've never driven anything like it. There's certain spots, if you hit the bumps just right, it literally will not stop bouncing until like hundreds of yards later.
All right, so what's going to be the strategy for the rest of the race? Everyone that we've asked, what's your strategy for the end of the race? They've said, you know what, we're going to keep that secret. We're not going to share that information. So you staying out the rest of the race and just running it dry?
Well, it depends on cautions. If I get enough cautions and I can make it, I'm staying out. But I'm probably just going to run fuel all the way out and pit if I have to pit without the help of cautions.
All right, well, finally, Trevor, someone gave us some insight to their strategy tonight, but good luck the rest of the race here, Cody. We're pulling for you to make it into the round of 8. You're looking good on points so far. So
a quick question, Cody, are you not live on YouTube right now?
I am not live tonight, actually.
Okay, surprise, but well, for everybody out there listening in, though, most nights you are live on YouTube, and of course you do a lot of stuff that isn't involved with your leagues as well. So they can certainly check you out on YouTube, and you're building a following very quickly. You're already up to 160 subscribers. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, thanks, Trevor. I appreciate it.
So I'll let you get back to it. Good luck out there. We'll hopefully be chatting with you at the end of this race.
Here's to hope, and thanks, guys.
So that is Cody Height. Cody Height on YouTube, as he's known. And if you're looking for him and you want to get subscribed to all these great iRacers who do broadcast live, head on over to YouTube and look up Cody Height. He's at Cody Height on YouTube, and you get a chance to see all of that. I know we mention it at least once a race, but certainly Tim Harper, when he's streaming live, he's over on Twitch, Harper50, as he's known. And, of course, he's not in there tonight, but perhaps he'll be back next race at Las Vegas.
Yeah, he should be back at Las Vegas. He's a fan of that track, thinks he might be able to get a win there, I'm sure. So we should see him back behind the wheel of that 12 car.
Well, Christian, you think we're going to get green flag racing?
No.
It's going to go yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow, green till the end.
Precisely.
Well, there it is from the great Christian Snyder. So that means we are now free to go green flag racing to the very end.
That's what I'm hoping. It's going to be the opposite.
Now that he said that.
Usually when we say it's going to be green the rest of the way, we get caution. So let's say it's going to be a caution fest the rest of the way, and maybe we'll get a green flag round. Reverse psychology.
Either way, it's been exciting and interesting. And you know what? If it's a yellow fest until the end, hey, everybody's got to do the same thing. So Cody's hoping for more yellows. Is he going to get it?
Oh.
He spins up his tires a bit, unfortunately for him, and that allows Vincent Arthur to get around. Now Cody Height trapped in the middle as Brady Motes and Peter Irons get around. And Cody's still slipping even further back. Everett Couts now trying to get around on the outside. And he manages to do so. Is he going to be able to pull off that pass? Josh Conover kind of lining up Cody Height as well. He does pull off that pass. So Cody really under attack here. And seems like we did what we always do. We managed to curse the guy that was in the lead.
At this point, it's in our job title.
Right.
Yeah. But Josh Conover, man, he pit and was one of the only people and was back in 15th, already up to 6th.
Indeed, it is looking good for him, but here comes Peter Irons trying to size up Brady Motes for that second position. See whether or not he can manage to take it.
Yeah, Peter's going to have to be forced to make some type of move around Brady, or either that, wait for a mistake. But what Vincent's hoping for is that it takes a while for Peter to get around Brady, so that he can pull away a little bit more. Out to a 2-second lead has him right now.
Very close racing at this moment between Brady Moats and Peter Irons. Irons goes to the outside. Moats takes the inside line. Is Irons going to stuff it down the inside? He does. They don't make contact. Moats still on the inside line. He holds tight. Irons with a good run through the corner. Moats takes the inside line, but unable to defend. Peter Irons up into second. 3-second gap now for Vincent Arthur. Can Irons possibly chip into it? We'll find out very shortly. As it appears, Tom Senchek is now getting by Cody Height for position. So Senchek up into 6th. Just a moment ago, we were saying that he was back there in, I believe, 13th place, and here he is up into 6th.
Yeah, I think that moves Christenberry out of the playoffs as of right now. So I believe the 4 out are Christenberry, Caudle, Kulikowski, and
Engel?
I believe Engel, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll watch on to see if that's the way it continues. But, I mean, just the timing of these cautions and some of the incidents on the track may be what decides this one before the end. It may not be exactly as it runs. How about Peter Irons clipping into this lead? He's clipped about a half a second off of this lead, and it continues to fall. 2.4 seconds now. That time rapidly falling now down to a 2.3 seconds.
Yeah, you could say that he's using his 7 iron right now, just chipping away at it. Maybe a 9 iron.
Well, it appears as though he has a full bag of tools to use out there. Sometimes you use the 2, sometimes you use the 9. Tonight, the number 12, driving with a lot of tools in that tool bag. Fastest Sector 1, Sector 2, Sector 3 time of the race for Peter Irons. That lead is just down to 2 seconds now. So he's chopping half a second off each lap. Let's go on board and see how he's doing it. You're going to watch carefully and see where he manages to clip these apexes, how far he rides the car out, how much track he utilizes through the corner.
Well, I tell you what, I think people that are interested in Peter Irons are the Men in Black. They're trying to determine if he is in fact human or if he is alien.
That's a good question, but I'll tell you what is certainly very real and very available to you. We're now under 20 laps to go here at Charlotte Motor Speedway at the Roval, and this segment is presented by Snyder Graphics. That's facebook.com/Snyder Graphics. If you need a livery made for your next gen machine, you talk about affordable and you talk about professional. Several of the cars in the NORA Cup Series running schemes made by Snyder Graphics. And you can get yours done too. Facebook.com/Snyder Graphics. And that's actually, I think, well, that's your company, isn't it, Christian?
It is, in fact, my company. Pretty great one at that.
Pretty snazzy. You doing all those fancy schemes out there. Certainly takes a couple of tenths off every single lap time out there on a road course like this. Just having your liveries made by Christian Snyder. He knows the right vinyl to apply. Here we go. We're now on for this showdown here in Charlotte. Vincent Arthur and Peter Irons now engaged in a 1.2 second battle. We're going to see whether or not Arthur can hold on or whether it's going to be Irons who's going to close this gap and possibly take over the lead. Looking over. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's time to put your money down on who's going to win this one. It could be either of these two. If Vincent runs perfection the rest of this race, we've seen it before where someone, I believe it was at Watkins Glen, Vincent Arthur just didn't make any mistakes, and it was hard to pass. And he ended up winning and holding off someone for 20 laps straight.
Well, he could do it here tonight. He's got a very hard challenger who has absolutely nothing to lose, but of course, you also don't want to take out Vincent Arthur in the lead, so you do have that consideration.
You do, but at the same time, if it's public knowledge, which it should be because Tim Harper's his spotter, Tim's telling him that, Vincent's already locked in, so run as aggressive as you want here.
Well, here it comes. He's arrived. Peter Irons is on the scene. Vincent Arthur has lost that gap. It was up to 3 seconds, and Irons has chipped into it. Vincent Arthur still in the lead here. You can see in his mirrors the number 12 Ford of Harper Motorsports and Peter Irons, who's just given it everything he's got behind the wheel right now to try to get up there and possibly take that position. Have a note that Chad Engel has gone off track and come back on and has now jumped to the pits once again. So things going from bad to worse for Engel, as he is now the last of the drivers who had hoped to get into the round of 8 besides Ryan Bird in the running order tonight. Of course, Bird is already locked in, so Engel's night pretty much all but over at this stage, as he's now fallen a couple of laps down.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for Chad. I talked to him earlier today, and I was hoping he was going to make it in. He's racing for me next season in trucks, so I was excited to possibly see him make it in, and unfortunately tonight, not the night. Interesting to note that every season that Chad has run for driver's points, he's made it to the round of 8. So this is the first time that Chad Engel is eliminated in the round of 12.
There's always a first for everything, and a lot of great competition in this year's NORA Cup Series. Peter Irons, close enough to strike. Will he do so? He's got the iron in the fire at the moment, looking to strike at some point in the near future. Where will it be? When will it be? Ken Kleba chiming in. I think Vincent will beat Irons. Vincent is just playing with him. Well, he did lose a big old gap, and I don't think that's just playing with him. There's Irons taking a momentary look to the inside. Appreciate you checking in, Ken. We'll look forward to seeing Dustin out there for Las Vegas.
I tell you what, I think it's going to be another situation where as long as Vincent doesn't make a mistake, he's going to be able to possibly hold off this 12 car. I mean, the 12 was faster in certain areas. He's getting everything he can out of that corner right there, even touching the wall. He is right on there. Let's see if Peter is going to try to outbrake him here on the backstretch chicane. We're on board with Peter. Vincent taking a little bit of a defensive line there. He just breaks so much deeper into that than Vincent does, but with Vincent taking it cautious, he's able to make a good run off the exit of that backstretch chicane, and it is able to have enough room going into the front stretch here that Peter can't make a move.
Exactly. Well, both of them very aggressive through that chicane. That is one place that you can make up a lot of time, either on entry on the brakes or taking a little bit more conservatively and getting off the corner. Irons once again showing in that corner, showing his nose in the mirror of Vincent Arthur. This is the battle for the lead with 13 laps to go. The showdown in Charlotte. Irons to the inside.
Oh man, that was an impressive move by Irons, but Vincent Arthur going to fight back on the left side of him. He showed his nose to the right, forced Vincent to block him, and then jumped to the outside to cross him over. That was an impressive move there by Peter Irons.
Well, and if you notice, that's the same move he did on Moats. He made it stick on Moats, but Irons right now gonna reset. Take a look at where he can make this pass again. Perhaps in the same place. We will see.
Yeah, I think if it's going to happen, it's going to have to be in the infield section because Vincent is just a slightly better out on the oval part. Oh, he gets into Vincent here. I don't think he meant to. That's going to allow Vincent to actually get ahead there.
Yeah, Peter's just a bit later on the brakes. It's a sign of somebody who does a lot of road course racing. And wow, he got close to the wall there again. But certainly also I want to say it's a trade-off. I'm struggling for the right words for it. You know, some drivers, I'm a little bit slower in and much faster out. He's going to try it again in the same corner. He gets into the quarter panel of Vincent Arthur, unable to shake him loose. 12 laps to go, and it looks like Vincent Arthur going to survive another lap in front.
I mean, nerves of steel for Vincent right there. I mean, he knew he was there and just didn't care. He was able to drive back around him. That's going to be the corner that something has to give, though. Peter drives really deep in it, and he's getting there every single time. So that's going to be the corner. If Peter's able to make something happen, that's going to happen in.
Well, this has been a great battle so far, and I almost don't want to cut to any other battles happening on the track at the moment, but we have a great battle going on back here. You got Moats with Josh Conover and Tom Senchek all running within a second of each other right here for position. Senchek holding on dearly to try to get the maximum amount of points. 11 laps remaining here at Charlotte. Back in this lead battle, Vincent Arthur, Peter Irons didn't make the move that time. I wonder if he's going to try it a little bit differently and try and make the setup here for the backstretch.
Got into him a little bit there. Whew. Vincent with a good save there, but Peter's closer than he has been the past few times here for the backstretch chicane. Let's see what he does here.
Oh, he does make the move to the inside. That's Peter Irons who makes the move, and he's able to get the position. He moves to the front.
Wow, that was an aggressive late break there. Gave Vincent no other option than to let him have it. Man. That was a good move, but very aggressive out of Peter Irons, and now possibly going to pull away with this thing. He sets this up in the infield here. Well, this is a while ago.
We'll go back to this other replay here.
Okay, here's the pass.
Pass for the lead here.
Watch how late he brakes right there.
Super late on the brakes, and Vincent decides to not go defensive there. Manages to get through very easily at that point. I wonder if Vincent just didn't want to take a chance and wrecking the car.
I mean, I think if I'm Vincent there, I say, okay, you want to brake late, then you're going to get into my, left front. You're going to go around, buddy. But that's why, Vincent's out there and I'm up here.
Well, not next year.
Not next year.
Blake
you might see some people get mad at me next year.
It's true. You got to do all these road courses next year as well. Blake Hoppy there, getting it sideways, back under control. And now this gap has grown out to a 1.56 second gap for Peter Irons. Eco Green GT and Mavic in the YouTube chat room going nuts at the moment.
Yeah, I think once Peter got by Vincent, he said something over the radio, and I think he said, well, good win.
Well, it's not a win yet. Still got to get 9 more laps done and in the books. How about Senchek getting around Conover for position? Brady Moats there in front of this group. Brady's holding on to third place. He got quickly taken out of second place, but he's holding on to third very well right now. Conover running a tight third place. As we look down through the field, Everett Couts is held on to 6th, gaining 14 positions tonight. John Cottle in 10th place, Kristen Berry in 11th, and Ronnie Norman back here in 12th. Christian?
Yeah, he's just doing what he has to do here. I mean, he just needed a decent run tonight, and I mean, he's in the positive for points with those stage points that he got earlier in the race. So finishing 12th, he should still be fine. Still should be about 10 to the good, probably around that area. So just doing what he needed to do. We saw him pretty slow in practice. Not a fan of the Roval. He is a decent road course racer. But the Roval is just his Achilles, and he can't really figure this one out.
Well, he's doing everything he can to put in a solid performance out there, but as you said, he only needs to do so much. We've got Cody Height perhaps having an issue. He's in the pits right now in 12th place.
Well, we heard him say that he's going to have to pit at some point if it stays green, and it did stay green. And there he is, taking the pit stop, getting some fuel in her, and coming back out. That's unfortunate for Cody, but I think he should still be good on points. He's going to be close, but he should be good.
Came out behind Kristen Berry and Norman, so I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Well,
Kristen Berry, I think, was about 15 points up from what I think Josh said.
I'm sure we'll get a calculation from Josh pretty quickly after this race, and we'll be able to tell who's going to move forward into that round of 8. But stay tuned here, of course, on VirtualRacing.Network. We'll bring you all of the updates that we can following this race, and it's been a very exciting one so far, to say the least, as we've had. I mean, this, if you just showed a highlight package, you got something. Brady Moats having an issue?
Oh, yeah, I got something big right now. Brady Moats and Tom Senchek are having words over the radio, battling very hard there. My goodness.
They got to be real careful because league owner Josh Conover's right there next to him.
Yeah, Brady Moats, he pinched Tom Senchek a lap ago on the apron and was blocking for everything he had. He said he's in that point situation where he can't let Senchek too far ahead of him. And these two just battled the entire infield. And, they were having some words for each other.
Well, there you see this tight battle as it ensued. Moats sticking to the inside line, and Senchek finally winning out. Back to the live picture, and Moats has now fallen back from this battle. But Irons, so far, doing what he needs to do out in front. No more mistakes. I was just getting ready to say that really, as far as Irons is going, he's been a one-man highlight show. Going out there making a big mistake after taking pole position, going out there making a big mistake on the first lap before even the start-finish line, and then working his way back through the field, then going to the back, then working his way back through the field again. And here he finds himself, after fighting so valiantly with Vincent Arthur, he's now in the lead of his debut race here on VirtualRacing.Network in the NORA Cup Series.
Yeah, and with this, it's mixed reactions throughout the league. Some people never happy whenever someone comes in and just shows them, how good they are. We've seen it in the past in NORA where guys that have like 5,000 I rating kind of take over control of the league and dominate. we see people mad about it, but we see an issue here for Matthew George, and this is really big because he was looking like he was going to be in.
Yeah, I think he had a disconnect because I cannot seem to get any replay footage of him. And as a result,
yeah, connection dropped.
Yeah, he had to jump to the pit. So unfortunate for Matthew George. And then we had this happen to John Cottle.
Oof.
Drag a brake and come to a stop and wait it out. We've seen this show before. Gets it going again on the backstretch. Well, how about this turn of events here? Peter Irons in the lead now by 6 seconds over Vincent Arthur. Arthur with a 19-second lead over Tom Senchek. And now Senchek has moved with Conover just behind him into the 3rd spot. So then,
this is going to be a good battle to the end here between Josh and Senchek. And Senchek's trying to just maximize his points. Christenberry was tied with him earlier, but that was when he was ahead of him. So Christenberry, he's back in 8th, and Senchek looks like he might be good. But you just never know until right after the race if you're officially locked in or not. So he's in full just send mode. I mean, he's pushing every single corner. You see he slides there. I mean, he's giving it everything he's got. And Conover, he wants that podium.
He does. We talked about it. He's like, I don't know. There's a lot of guys, really good guys I'm going to have to beat up there. And I mean, Josh has a lot of respect for the level of talent in the rest of this field. But, you know, if there's one thing that Josh is not, he doesn't go out there and brag about how good he is. He lets his driving talent kind of speak for itself. And Josh is one of these what?
Well, I was going to say, he talks like he, isn't talented most of the time. He's just like, I'm not good here. I'm not going to have any shot. Then he goes out and proves everybody wrong and does a great job. So he's better than what he believes in himself. And, it's just a mindset. And hopefully he's able to realize, after this performance, how talented he is.
Well, and I guess in that way, then he's just happy to take advantage of opportunities that come to him, and he manages to go out there and take podiums when he doesn't even expect that he'll get a top 5. But the question is, if he believes in himself more, is he going to take more better finishes, or is it going to hurt him if he's more confident of his own abilities? You never know.
Yeah, if he gets more confident, I think we're going to see a lot more wins out of him. And, in real life, he was running a dirt race and actually got his, I think, he said first pole at a track he didn't like. So, I mean, he's got talent, no matter what he drives.
Well, we do certainly appreciate everybody joining us here on YouTube for a phenomenal race. You're watching Peter Irons. I mean, that car may be jumping like a pogo stick around, but he's like a kid on a pogo stick hopping down the street. He's having a good old time out there in the body armor number 12. At the moment, he just set the fastest sector 2 of the race, so he's feeling it. I mean, he's in the 118. Check this out. Last time by, a 118.08 for Peter Irons. Okay? Vincent Arthur, 119.28. He is a full second 0.2 faster right now per lap than the second place car. And if you look down through the field, I mean, that's just the beginning. So Senchek, 3rd fastest car out there, and Conover, 119.27. But again, we're talking about Peter Irons, 118.08. So with 2 laps to go here, this guy's not just serving notice, but he's saying, I am that much faster than everyone else on this road course, and we may have found ourselves a new road course talent that is going to be able to challenge the likes of Vincent Arthur and Ryan Bird. White flag in the air there from Barney the flag man, as now Peter has to deal with a little bit of lap traffic. Is that Cody Height? I believe that's Cody Height that he just went around. And there's Ronnie Norman just in front. So he's putting a lap now on these drivers in 10th and 11th place, or 10th and 9th place, excuse me. Quite a run for Peter Irons. Also, another fabulous run for Vincent Arthur. Sits in second. Tom Senchek in third place. He needed these points tonight to solidify his place into the round of 8. He's gotten them. Josh Conover, another stupendous race in fourth place. He may not get the podium, but he's got a fantastic race going for sure. Brady Motes in fifth. Hey, he's hung on. And that's the main thing. You just got to hang on and do your best towards the end of these races. And the next thing you know, you're a championship contender. And Brady Mote's going to move on to the round of 8. Just one more chicane to go here for Peter Irons. And that's going to do it for Peter across the start-finish line. And he'll take the checkered flag and the victory in his debut here on VirtualRacing.Network in the NORA Cup Series.
Yeah, and the lap before coming to the white flag, Vincent Arthur actually missed the backstretch chicane and had to serve a penalty there. He had to stop on the front stretch, come to a complete stop, and then went. So that's why he's so far back there. He was about 7 seconds back, but ends up finishing 15 back.
You know, I thought I saw something out of the corner of my eye, but I wasn't sure. But that tells the story. Nevertheless, when you're that fast, you open up that big of a gap. I guess it didn't end up hurting him after all. Tom Senchek ends up winning that battle for third, and he ends up finishing in that third spot. Conover in fourth place, Brady Motes in fifth. So we're going to collect ourselves here on VirtualRacing.Network, let this finisher make it to the start-finish line and possibly do a little bit of celebrating himself. He gets a love tap and salute from Vincent Arthur just behind. We're going to get the final results together, and we'll be back with a chat with the top 3 finishers here in the final round of the round of 12 playoffs. Stay tuned. There you can see it on your screen. Peter Irons taking victory live as you watch. And he brought a great crowd with him. Brickner, Eco Green GT, Mavic, and Jimmy L5. The team that supported him through this whole victory in his debut here in the NORA Cup Series. He takes round number 33 overall of the Charlotte Roval for the NORA Cup Series 2023 and the round number 6 in the playoffs. Congratulations to him and Harper Motorsports. Tim Harper's got to be pretty darn happy with that. Second place going to Vincent Arthur. Probably a pretty big surprise to Vincent, but Christian, I'm wondering if there's a reason why these two are pushing him around. Did he run out of fuel on the last lap?
I think, but I hear an engine noise. I don't know exactly what they're doing. I mean, they're having fun, whatever they're doing.
Yeah, he's still got fire under that hood.
Oh
so.
my goodness! Ronnie Norman just came into view and lost his front bumper. Wow.
Well, to finish this one up, Tom Senchek taking third, Josh Conover in fourth, Brady Motes in fifth, Everett Couts in sixth, Joey Stats in seventh place. Jake Christenberry ends up in eighth, so he more than likely has made it into the playoffs at that, into the round of 8. Ronnie Norman finishing in ninth, Cody Height in 10th. Blake Hoppy, they're finishing in 11th. John Cottle in 12th. Jacob Gladelich in 13th. 14th going to Adam Kulikowski. 15th to Matthew George. 16th to Chad Ingle. 17th, Ryan Bird. 18th to Jacob Malone. 19th belongs to Cameron Thompson. Dakota Moniz in 20th. 21st to Alex Axman and Dakota Hendrickson, who did not take the start here tonight. And with that, we'll get a chance to chat with, I believe, our top 3 finishers, starting with Tom Senchek. I look forward to seeing him in here. There he is. Hey, Tom, that was a heck of a drive here tonight. You managed to, work your way through a couple of different incidents out there on the track, and you certainly had to make it past Josh Conover there and make your way forward past Brady Moats. What was it like for you out there tonight? And obviously, congratulations taking your podium position.
Yeah, it was fun. Me and Josh, we were actually talking to each other over the radio during the race. It was really fun between me and him right there. And then we called Brady. It turned into like a 3-man race right there for a second. It was good for a while. Once we got past Brady, there was parts of the infield that Josh was a lot faster than me on, and then where I would pull away a little bit. But I think we were both trying to save fuel there at the end. I ran out right at the line. But yeah, a lot of cautions. It's 11 o'clock at night for me. That was a long race with those cautions. Long pace laps, but I'm glad we came over the third, and I'm pretty sure we locked our way into the next round.
I believe that you did. Certainly the second of the playoff drivers to finish tonight, and it is late, so we'll cut this one short. But this was a stunning race to watch. A lot of cautions, but certainly the cream of the top of the crop rising. So what did you think of this race overall in terms of a road course race, and are you ready to move on to Las Vegas?
I'm so unbelievably ready to move on back to the oval. I don't hate this track. I hate the setup in this car. Getting back onto the actual oval from the infield was just absolutely brutal. I think everybody will tell you that it was just way too tight. There's no front end grip going up the banking, which makes no sense to me. So it was really, really hard to kind of get the power down and get front grip there. But it was fun there at the end when we actually had a green flag run and I could kind of hit a groove a little bit. Kind of wish it was like that for most of the race, but turn 1 is an absolute chaos maker at this track. So yeah, I'm glad that it's over and we could go on to some ovals for the next 4 races.
Well, certainly you will. Who would you like to give a shout out to for your run to third tonight?
I'll give a shout out to the whole Late Apex team. Unfortunately, Kyle wasn't able to make it, and then Dakota and Ryan had some problems. But yeah, Ryan was able to make it back, and then I think he got taken out, and he had another reball. So I'll thank you guys. I'm sure the broadcast is great. I'm going to watch it a little bit after this. Shout out to Vincent and Peter, also on the podium. They ran a hell of a race. They really pulled away from us at the end there, and yeah, and everybody else in the league, it was pretty good. I hope it was entertaining to watch.
It certainly was, and you took podium position here. But Tom, 2 of your teammates in Ryan Bird and Dakota Moniz have now taken wins here in the NORA Cup Series. Are we going to see Tom Senchek atop the podium here very soon?
Vegas is one of my favorite tracks, but there's so much talent in this league. It's I'm not going to be that guy and say that I'm going to point out a win, but I'm going to hope so. But I do like Vegas. I need to win 1 before we get to Martinsville because I'm sure that's going to have more cautions than this race. Martinsville is a nightmare on iRacing, so hopefully we could get 1 between there, and then maybe we could get 1 at Phoenix. That'd be nice.
Well, we'll let you try it, and it'll be fun for us to watch. Tom, congratulations with third, and we'll see you at Vegas.
I appreciate it, guys.
So that is Tom Senchek, runner of the number 26 for Late Apex Racing, and he takes podium position. Christian, yeah?
Yep. I have an update. We have the 4 members that are eliminated from the round of 8 and not making it in. Kolakowski is eliminated. Chad Engel and John Cottle, all three of them are out. And this one is really, really tight. But Jake Christenberry is eliminated by 1 point over Matthew George.
Oh, my goodness. Well, a sincere disappointment, I'm sure, for Megan Beadle and the rest of the Christenberry fan club that wasn't able to join us tonight, but certainly that we've appreciated them being involved all season and Jake Christenberry giving his all out there, but that was a rough one for Christenberry to miss out just by 1 point. By the way, before we move on to Vincent Arthur, if you're not already subscribed here at VirtualRacing.Network, make sure to punch that subscribe button. You'll get all of our upcoming races delivered right to your inbox. All 3 of the broadcasts that we do, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday nights, all in the playoffs, so you won't want to miss it. If you can like this video as well, we'd appreciate that. It helps to get this out there to more of the YouTube wonderland that is out there of sim racing fans. So with that, Christian, I believe you've had a chance to catch up with our second place finisher, Vincent Arthur.
Yeah, just caught up with Vinny down here in pit road. Vincent, you finished second. It was kind of, the thing you were kind of looking for for tonight after seeing Peter run some insane lap times. But I mean, second place, you're locked into the next round, so it's still great for you. So how do you feel about heading into the next few weeks, and you think you're going to that Final Four?
Yeah, honestly, tonight was kind of a bummer. Just based off of how the race played out, I really felt like we had a shot to win. But, once it got down between me and Peter, and it was just us fighting head-to-head, it was just Watkins Glen all over again. But this time I was a little short on fuel, so I had to save a little bit. And hats off to him. I mean, we raced really clean, really fair. We were actually just talking about that in the cool-down room, if you will, and it was a lot of fun racing him. So hats off to him. Congratulations to him for coming in tonight and winning. But yeah, it does sting a little bit. But you can't be too disappointed with the second place, especially going into the round of 8. I think just what we've been able to do this entire playoffs, just racking up the playoff points. I feel like I'm in a really strong situation going into next week, and we got a couple of really good tracks for me. I won at Vegas earlier in the season, and Homestead is always one of my favorite tracks, and hopefully iRacing fixed the tire thing so I can actually rip the fence. But yeah, and then Martinsville is always a crapshoot, so hopefully we'll lock ourselves in by then. But yeah, I feel pretty confident, and to be able to get into the Final Four, and then it's just that one race shootout.
Yeah, and that one race shootout is going to be Phoenix, which earlier in the year weren't able to get the win at, but ran pretty good there. So I'm sure you're getting some practice in already for Phoenix, just trying to make sure that you're ready for it. But we thought for a little bit during this race that you might have been able to hold off Peter. It was an insane battle between you and him for about 6, 7, maybe even more laps. And me and Trevor were just, amazed by how close you guys were keeping. And it was to a point where you just weren't going to make a mistake and Peter wouldn't have been able to get by you, but it didn't turn out that way. He kind of dive bombed you into the backstretch chicane. So, I mean, that was an incredible battle. It was fun for us to watch. I'm sure it was fun for you out there.
Yeah, I'm glad I was able to put on a show. Obviously I am a little disappointed to come away with second, especially with the pace we showed tonight. But it was fun racing him. A lot of good, clean racing. Honestly, with these cars, they allow you to beat and bang a little more than, say, the Gen 6 did or most other cars on the server. So, reminded me a lot of go-kart racing. So I had a lot of fun out there, slipping and sliding, and just doing all I could to at least put on a good battle. So, hope the fans enjoyed. It was definitely fun from the cockpit, but yeah, it's stinging coming away with a second after being in a good position all night.
Yeah, absolutely understandable to sting a little bit. Second, always the first loser, and it hurts sometimes, but I mean, you did a great job. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go? I know it's pretty late here tonight. It's already 11 o'clock on the East Coast, so anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, obviously got to thank Red Bull for hopping on board. This breast cancer awareness Red Bull scheme is absolutely beautiful. We'll be back in Pepsi colors next week, so got to thank them for always being a supporter. That'll also be a special breast cancer awareness scheme as well, so I'm looking forward to running that. Got to thank Exalta, everybody over at Flatline. They do a wonderful job just being able to put us in these type of situations. And I know it was a little bit of a rough night for a couple of my teammates, but to have a couple cars going through to the round of 8, that's a big accomplishment for the team, and it really speaks to everything that we've been doing over there. So thanks to everybody at Flatline. Thanks to Josh for allowing me to do this week in, week out. Thank you guys for the broadcast. And we'll go on to Vegas, and hopefully we can pull one out of the bag and lock ourselves into that Final Four.
All right, man. Well, good luck the next few weeks, and hopefully we see you in the Final Four and running for a championship.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, Trevor, that's our second place finisher, Vincent Arthur. We're going to wrap up that interview, and I believe you're down in victory lane there with Peter Irons.
Yes, indeed. I've managed to catch up with the one, the only, the debut driver who makes a name for himself here in the NORA Cup Series, climbs out of the car, waves and salutes to the fans with confetti blowing in the air. Peter, congratulations on taking a win in your first race. Not only the win, but you took the pole position as well. Congrats.
Oh my gosh. What a crazy race for my first one. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing. I just spun off the start, took 2 drive-throughs, and still managed to get the win. That's just a testament to the guys that I'm working with Timothy, and the hours that I'm putting in behind the screen, preparing. And a huge shout out to Kyle, Terry, and I'm forgetting some, Corey, all those guys watching. You guys were the reason that I drove myself off there. Appreciate it.
Well, it was beyond impressive, and there's so much to talk about. Of course, that opening lap incident, you had to put that behind you. You drove completely through the field and got up to 4th place. Was that the first time that you got a chance to really get a feeler and say, look, if I was able to come all the way from the back to 4th in just a few laps, I might actually have the driving ability to beat everybody out here tonight?
I actually feel like that came in practice and qualifying. I mean, showing up in practice and getting P1 by 7/10 and then going out qualifying and backing that thing up, that's really where I started to believe that I can go out there and I can do this. And no matter how many times I put myself back, I'm still gonna believe in myself.
Well, you talked about putting the time behind the wheel. Tell us, what other types of racing are you doing? Are you doing mostly Cup cars? Are you are you doing other types? Are you big on road course racing? What are you typically doing to prepare for these races? What's your bread and butter?
Yeah, for sure. So I enjoy running A-Fixed a lot. Those Cup cars are a blast. You could beat bang, like you saw me and Vincent. Huge respect to Vincent. He was great. He raced me great. But yeah, you can really beat and bang like we did in that race with these Cup cars. So I love those. And I also run V-Fixed a few times, because that car's fun too. I'm excited for next year when I can run in the College Series, so that should be a lot of fun.
Oh, that should be a blast. And tell us about the move that you made that basically won the race. Now, we saw you try that move in the right-hander that you tried on Brady Moats and got you that position. And then you lined up Vincent Arthur and you tried again to get that, but you weren't able to get it in that same corner. So then you decided to change gears and set up for a pass into the braking zone, into the backstretch chicane. Was that planned? Was that when you thought you were going to make the move, or was it just the opportunity in front of you?
That's a great question. You're asking a lot of great questions. All right. So Vincent is amazing at defending. I could not get around him for laps like you guys saw. Huge testament to that guy. He's awesome. He's a great racer. I don't want to be about him again because that was so hard, but yeah, going into that backstretch chicane, I just sent that thing. Like, I was in that same position from multiple laps ago. I wanted to do it, but I did it in practice. I tried to do the same move to him in practice, and I just blew that chicane. So I did not want to have to make that move, but I knew I had to at least give it a try if I wanted to win the race, because there's no other way of passing that guy. He's way too good at defending. Huge testament to him.
Well, it was exciting to watch, and then, of course, not only did you make that pass, but you had to hold on out there in front and keep growing that gap. So was that difficult for you, or did you just put your head down and say, hey, I've only got so many laps, I'll just put it behind me and go out there and take this victory?
That was the easiest part for me. I can drive the course by myself. You know, that's what I've been practicing the few races. So the few hours that I've been putting in.
Well, what are
that was a big accomplishment for me, just to go out there and be able to pull away. The hardest thing was trying to save fuel, because I know Timothy was in my ear, save fuel, and I didn't want to do it. I just want to go run. So appreciate him for doing what he does.
Well, what are your plans? Are you going to come back here into the NORA Cup Series and finish out the season? Are you looking at maybe 2024 doing the whole season? What are your plans?
Another great question. You guys are awesome at this.
We've done a couple of these.
Oh yeah, you're doing great. I did one of these before, and the guy wasn't as good as you. You're top tier. I'm telling you.
Appreciate it.
So, yeah, me and Timothy were talking about this. He wanted me to drive his truck. I don't know if that's going to work out for me, because I'm pretty busy Tuesdays, which seems to be the major day that you guys run this league.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're looking for me to fill in for you, I can always do that. Like, I filled in with Timothy, and this was a lot of fun. This was a challenge, for sure, but it was a lot of fun. So if anyone wants to hit me up, I'm open to do more. Just hit me up and we'll talk about it.
Well, I think your phone's going to be ringing off the hook here pretty soon. But Peter, who do you want to thank for your win here tonight? And I'm sure it's going to include those folks over in the YouTube chat room.
Oh, for sure. Kyle's taught me a lot. Maverick's been fun to hang around. Corey, Alex, Dukanuka. There's so many guys that just make my life amazing. And back at the race, you know, Timothy was with me in my ear all race. My teammates were doing a great job of helping me out when they could. You know, if they were having some trouble in like a lap down, they got in my way, and I really appreciate that. It saves a lot of time. So I appreciate Timmy, all the guys on my team, and the guys in chat. Those guys are awesome.
Well, it was a pleasure to have you here, Peter. Impressive speed, and congratulations on taking the pole position as well as the race win. And just like that, you're already a race winner here in the NORA Cup Series. And if you had done that during the regular season, you would be into the playoffs. So you might consider that on Tuesday nights. But either way, we hope to see you as much as possible back here. And once again, congratulations. And hopefully we'll see you back here at least for Las Vegas.
Yeah, I'd be happy if the right opportunity comes. I like to say that I'm one of the best at the oval. So hit me up, guys. I'm here. I'm open.
Well, we'll look forward to seeing that. Good luck to you, man.
Appreciate you.
So that is Peter Irons, driver of the number 12 tonight. The Ford for Harper Motorsports, filling in for the legendary Tim Harper, who had to step away for tonight. But, well, Christian, he couldn't have picked a better replacement. You could say he's a ringer, but we get ringers all the time that come into NORA. They don't quite always do this. This was pretty astounding stuff here tonight.
Yeah, he pulled a SVG, you know, and
Definitely.
It happened in real life, you know, coming in one race and winning, and he was able to pull it off, and it was impressive. I'll be interested to see what he can do at the Oval if someone does give him a ride. It'll be interesting to see what he can do, and hopefully we do see him in the future. Yeah, we'll have to see what the final 8 are here. Not the final 8, but the round of 8. Man, it's a lot of talent, and there's a lot of guys that are going to miss out on that final 4 that really deserve it. So it's going to be interesting to watch next week, and the next 3 weeks, I should say.
Absolutely. You won't want to be anywhere else other than VirtualRacing.Network on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday nights. Of course, I should mention, as Nick Geilis just pointed out on the Discord, race results are unofficial until a post-race review, so things could always change, but you're probably not going to take away that race victory from Peter Irons. That was substantial tonight. Our next broadcast will be the Icon Cup Series. We're going to be at Las Vegas coming up on Sunday night. It'll be 135 laps around, and then, of course, we'll be back here. Are we doing trucks next week as well? Or is that the next week from Homestead?
Yeah, it's going to be in 2 weeks at Homestead for the trucks.
Homestead. Same week as everybody else is doing Homestead. So then we'll be skipping Monday night, and then Tuesday we will be right back here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway as well for the NORA Cup Series. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. Congratulations to Peter Irons and Vincent, Arthur, Tom Senchek, and everyone else who made it into the round of 8. Heartache for those who didn't quite make it, but that's what's in store. We still have 4 more races remaining in the NORA Cup Series 2023. We'll see you here again next Tuesday for NORA. On behalf of Christian Snyder and all of the NORA competitors and administration, I'm Trevor Greenfield signing off. We'll see you again on Sunday night. So long, everybody.